Is this
It's
just
just fantasy.
Caught in a landslide.
No
Escape from reality.
So I prefer starting the stream like this. This is better.
Look up at the sky and see.
See,
I'm
James.
just a puppet.
My ears are bleeding.
I need no sympathy.
Never play a
Because
bard.
Easy come, easy go.
Easy go.
I had played a bard and then I died.
You deserve. I'm sorry, you didn't deserve that.
I'm
Okay.
going to go back to this.
Why am
Can
I-
someone share links and spam links in servers to get people like on Twitch?
I'll try.
Get hype. Get hype. Guys, oh my god,
Get hyped or get wrecked.
61 followers.
Well,
61. That is
61.
that's
That's a
high.
lot.
That's higher than it was. Well, I don't know, man. It's been a month.
I voted two people.
That's good though.
That's all right.
8 more and it's the sex number. We're so close.
So close.
Oh yeah, 69 here. Nice, nice.
Oh,
Cool.
yes, that was funny.
How are we
It
all
was a joke.
doing? How are we all doing? We okay? Feeling happy, positive, trapped?
I'm
That's
so
fine, we're
glad to be
used to
playing
it by
Dungeons
now.
and Dragons
I've done some
right
very good
Mm.
art.
I'm looking forward to seeing it
I'll
once
have
it's
to
finished.
share
It'll be
it.
good.
Yeah.
Cool. So anyway, viewing Twitch audience. What's our viewing figures at? I think we have like a kind of all-time average of like 3.4, which is breathtaking, really. We hope you're doing well. You know, I hope you're making the most out of the time that you have been given. In many ways, the time that we have in this whole quarantine COVID situation is a gift, which I've made use of by arbitrarily running, and it's 90% out of boredom. Hey, it's Blair. Hello, Blair. Two all-nighters. Like, comment, subscribe. Cool. Think about notices. I think
Dream has just begun. Now we're gonna go and roll some dice.
That's the bards, ladies and gentlemen.
you planned that, didn't you?
Yes, yes.
You don't see him sitting there silently watching.
Waiting for his moment.
Oh,
Yeah. You just
watching.
you see him watching is like, yeah, James is talking like everything started, but I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah.
There it is. Hi, James's mum.
We've been live for like 3 minutes by my
We
count.
had been. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It took a
Yeah,
while to catch up.
but Arby was still the first one to say it.
Oh, there you go.
And
Anyway,
the rest of us had kind of forgotten in that moment, not sure as to whether or not things had started.
yeah, true.
Nah.
Arby never forgets.
Arby never forgets.
I'm quite, you know, I'm quite clear with you guys as to when I press that. Anyway, what was I going to say? Notices. Oh, thank you for those of us who are joined the server. We've had a couple more people join the Discord in the last couple weeks. Thank you. We hope that you enjoy it. I've been running a Hunger Games generator on the server featuring your favorite characters from the Dysfunctionals brutally killing each other in bloody murderous rampage. And congratulations to our first champion of the Hunger Games, Old Man Jim from episode 1.
It's appropriate. I feel like.
A fisherman,
Jim's revenge.
a fisherman who
Had the misfortune.
who died within like the first couple of sessions at the same time as Jojorawr's first death. Yes.
Because somebody just didn't feel like saving him.
There was
Oh.
a reason I didn't feel like saving him.
I mean, it's where the name came from, that the beginning of the campaign. Anyway,
Yeah.
so there is a second one currently going on. I'm pretty sure Zendron has died on the first day of every single one so far.
I didn't kill him this time.
Yeah, well, just thank you very much. I'm feeling a little winded. Anyway, cool. Let's begin the game now. I'm sure we'll do some kind of giveaway at 100. I'm still trying to get I think I'm going to give money to Professor Harmless on PayPal just to give him enough money to buy his own dice because the delivery didn't work. But anyway, if there's nothing from anybody else, anyone, let us continue.
Whee!
Oh my God, Blair. Oh my God, that hits me hard. That's a terrible thing to say. I'm very proud of this. This is distinguished. This is
amazing.
What did
I
Blair say?
complimented it the moment I saw it.
described it as a pet's caterpillar. It's on the stream. Anyway, welcome to tonight's episode of
I see
Hey, is
the
that me?
mustache.
It's me.
the
Hey, I'm that guy.
Dysfunctionals. I'm going to click opening now.
Not me.
And welcome back.
Very well hidden behind this armor.
Thank you so
Ready?
much, Absol, for joining us. Hope that you're okay. Thank you for joining.
Hi!
Absol joined the Discord today, right? Or yesterday? Thank you for joining.
Nice to
Last
see
night.
you.
Yeah, hope that you enjoy the anarchic chaos, which is this Dungeons and Dragons game that we loosely try and keep to task, but never mind.
I gave them a nice
I
brief
DM for
summary.
Absol.
Yes, indeed. Summary. That's a good idea. Last time, the Dysfunctionals had travelled to the town of Farenlath on the northern, kind of northwestern side of the continent of Ufai. They had fled the city of Trine because they went to rescue Arthrin, your travelling companions.
Sister-in-law.
Okay, and we're back. Okay, and we're back on the scene. Cousin, Arthrin's cousin, who had been kidnapped by an evil criminal syndicate, ended up becoming too dangerous, so they got out by using a teleportation scroll, and managed to get Eirys's companion and his family out with them as well to protect them from this evil criminal syndicate. So you guys have been in Farenloth for the last couple of days, investigating in a Holmesian manner.
That's supposed to be standard.
In a Holmesian manner, the murder of Ella's longtime friend, now deceased, Mara. You have had a variety of adventures involving picking up pieces of evidence here and there, and freaking beard thread James versus Swiss. There's no contest. There is no contest. Anyway, yeah, so you guys, last time, you had previously found like a strange red-robed, wearing a turban as well, cultist that you killed and brought back to life with a speak with dead spell that gave you a few clues as to the identity of this strange cult that had been keeping tabs on the Temple of Helm, which is where you guys have been basing your murder investigation. God, that was the worst summary ever.
No, it wasn't.
We resume, having picked up that information, having had some downtime in the tavern. You guys are making your way to the Temple of Helm once more, which is where we will pick back up. So, Dysfunctionals, you are currently on your way to the Temple of Helm. You walk through the town square. Anyone got anything they want to say to each other as they go, or are we just gonna... Oh my god.
Oh, I got some.
So, how rough we allowed to be with this guy?
That's
I would like to know that too.
Are you implying that we... I mean, we're going to go talk to the High Priest, right?
Yes,
Yes.
Rough.
but
Surely we don't necessarily need to be, right? We want to avoid that if we can. Don't
yeah,
We would
that makes
become
sense.
But what if
very
we
hot
find
if
out
we were
that
rough.
Sorry, Yel?
We would become very hot if we were rough, and may have to run away from a
Yeah,
fair few people.
that seems bad.
I just...
And we don't have that skip fellow with the portals either.
Yeah, that was only a one-time thing, right?
nod, nod?
I mean, if we could ask him to do it again for us sometime, that would be marvelous.
Maybe. I mean, if they have another scroll, I led to believe that those scrolls are kind of rare. Ella, are those scrolls kind of rare?
Hello.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Why don't we roll a dice in this game of Dungeons and Dragons?
Ooh, dice time.
Madness! Who rolls dice in Dungeons and Dragons? We talk about our feelings.
Just before Zoe rolls the dice, Blair, you can carry on because that's the funniest shit. Please continue. I'm just receiving the roasting of hell in chat for my... I would describe it as my Aragorn chic, but obviously Blair's of a different opinion. What was the roll?
Your stash
Yeah.
is as present as mine.
Really?
Yeah, just that I have a lot more beard. If you take away my beard, that's basically the same stash.
Oh, thanks,
I would
man.
do the Swiss
Ah, that's made my day.
on par.
Cool. I keep on clicking.
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20? Yeah, you know that scrolls with the capacity to teleport, if you're in possession of that knowledge, then you can create your own scrolls, but the kind of magics, that's not the kind of thing that you'd necessarily find without hundreds of gold pieces or weeks of time spent on enchanting that spell into a scroll. So it is pretty rare. Like, actually, as you think about it, for Maureen, because Maureen is Kylan's partner, and her son Theo Jr. kind of came with you to Far North as well, just as a reminder. For Maureen to have acquired that scroll, she probably either spent a lot of money or called in a pretty major favour.
Makes sense.
And, you know, Slip, actually, just by way of reminder, when you guys were in the tavern fighting away through the Syndicate's thugs, Slip was starting to struggle on casting the spell until Ella ran in and gave him advantage on the roll. In fact, Ella rolled a natural 20. Yeah. It was
She
like,
practically took over.
yeah, she basically took over. To the point that actually Slip
Get out of
gave...
the way, let me cast it.
It was a bit... He gave Ella a little bit of deference, like, for the brief time that he spent with you guys in Far North. You guys know that those guys, Slip, Kylan, Maureen, and Theo Jr., they came with you, but they've since broken away from your party, and they've been given lodgings, and you didn't... Probably not interesting enough for you to ask them about where they were lodged. But the guard...
The guardhouse.
Yeah, in a building that belongs to the guard, perhaps. I don't know. So you guys make your way into the Temple of Helm. You walk up the same pathway, the same well-decorated trees that are fairly sparse in this kind of springtime ambience.
Before we approach, though, I want to check to see if we're being watched by, like, red cloaks, because
Make a
they
perception
might have
check.
sent somebody out. Yeah.
Does anybody else want to make a perception check?
I'd probably ask Eirys to help me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you can either each roll, or Kyro can roll with advantage. You're cool.
Do you want to each roll? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we having issues with Twitch again? Try refreshing.
21.
21.
Perception, right?
Yep.
It's a 9.
9.
9.
Oh, wait, I have to roll with disadvantage, too, don't I? It's probably still going to be a 9. Yeah, it's a 9.
Hope you like the Oh, Ryan's watching as well. Thanks, guys. This is really lovely of you. Thank you for joining us.
I realized that I'm not the person to do this.
Yeah, so you look around, and as soon as you do, the early morning, it's actually mid-morning, kind of rising sun that's kind of approaching its zenith, hits you straight in the face. Ugh! Okay, yeah, maybe this drow isn't the idea.
I need to do something about this.
What's the music for?
You
Why
guys...
did the mid-morning hit my face?
Eirys, you look around, you look at the same place that you saw last time, the kind of alleyway that runs adjacent to the main road, running towards the temple, several other spots that you think would be likely, even a couple of the roofs. There doesn't appear to be anybody of
Looks
any
fine
nature.
to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really sorry, Absol. Not really sure what to suggest. Anyway, oh, Ryan, you can't count on me checking Discord while I'm DMing, man. That's too intense. Anyway, you open up the doors into the main kind of entryway of the temple. Ella, maybe an air of trepidation as you return to this place that doesn't necessarily have the best memories attached to it. A number of acolytes are kind of just quietly sort of around in the space. You can see the large stained glass window behind a ornate altar, the statue of Helm, as it was described to you last time. Sorry, my love. What's Elegant wanting to do?
Yeah, Ella would like to check around and make sure her mum's not around.
Perception check. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cough, Mum.
Oh, okay, not too bad. 19.
19. You just glance around the whole space. You can see that you can see that there's a number of acolytes around. Actually, as you look at them, I'll come back to that in a second. Your mum isn't around. Your mum isn't in the immediate room, in the immediate space. Might be that she's elsewhere, but she's certainly not in this main sort of chamber of the temple. You do notice with that 19 that one of the acolyte figures is looking straight at you guys as you walk in, paying particularly close attention to Brüz.
I'm gonna look at him.
Kind of breaks his gaze away, seems to have a bit of a crisis of confidence, and then decides to turn and approach almost hesitantly. Brüz, you recognize him, and another figure, a female, kind of looks at where he's kind of walking, makes to kind of stop him, but then notices you guys come in, and she follows her. These are the two figures, acolytes, that showed you guys around the library last time. Yeah.
The ones we ditched.
Yeah, the ones that... So
Brüz is going to, like, as soon as he locks eyes, he's going to walk straight up and shake her hand. So lovely to see you again.
Hi, yeah.
How has your day been?
Oh, nothing much to report. Just been filing a section B74 of the library. It's pretty boring, to be honest.
B74? What's over there?
Oh, it's just agricultural history. It's nothing.
Oh, no. Agriculture is very important to the manifestations of civilization as we know it.
Nuru's like nodding, like intensely.
Kind of glances between the two of you. I mean, I always thought so. Adrian, sorry, the guy that's next to her kind of folds his arm and goes, Laura, this is so boring. Sorry, just wanted to welcome you guys back. Sometimes we have visitors once, but rarely do people return as frequently as you guys have. I just wanted to welcome you back. It's probably...
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Is there anything we can do to help you? Probably not much. We're only acolytes, but...
Well, having been here a while, what would you say is the most comfortable chair?
None of them are massively comfy. And the beds aren't really anything to talk right home about either.
Be a problem.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I guess the chairs that are by the kind of fire in the library where you were sat last time, they get a lot of the warmth, which is comfortable. but the chairs themselves aren't really comfortable. Why do you ask?
Nuru's raising
Oh,
her
it's
hand.
always just I like to check in with the people who know the lay of the land, as it were.
Kind of Laura sort of like, sorry, I've named these characters, so I'm calling them by their names. Laura is the female and Adrian is the guy. She turns to him and kind of whispers something in his ear. Eirys, easy enough to pick up. She goes, "That gnome, is that Orla's child? Is that Orla's daughter?" And he kind of turns around. He replies, "Yeah, you might be right." They kind of turn, trying to keep it jovial, kind of look at you, Ella, and say, "So, would you be interested in visiting your I'm assuming you're Ella Icklebury, right?
Absolutely.
Would you like to visit your mum?"
No.
Nuru's
okay.
been raising her hand.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Kind of looks at you, Nuru. Can I
I
help you?
actually want to know where that that guy he had a name kind of like Cherral but wrong.
Oh, you mean the High Priest, Cherral Novaste?
Yeah, Cherral, like Cheryl, but it's a chair.
Cherral.
I mean, Cheryl.
Yeah, I want to know where that guy is. I want to talk to him.
She kind of, Laura kind of like raises her hand and goes, "Oh yeah, my niece is called Cheryl. I never made that link." Adrian's like, "Actually, it's interesting you guys should say that because I actually saw Cheryl, like, just before you guys came in, going towards the West Wing, which is, I don't know."
What's in the West Wing?
Yeah, what's
That's-
in the West Wing?
I mean, the West Wing, those of you who have been to Mara's room, is the kind of space of the temple, because there's a main chamber, and there's an east and west wing that branches out from either side. The West Wing seems to be where most of the rooms for the acolytes and the people who kind of live and work here are. And then the East Wing is where the library is and where the kind of more specific practical laboratories are. And, well, not laboratories, but like...
Could you go take us there?
Well, to the West Wing.
Did he seem occupied, or do you think we could have an appointment with him?
Well, I mean, I don't suppose... It doesn't really keep appointments per se, but...
Of course,
Well, good, then
if he seemed
we would
occupied or
be
busy.
politely knocking on his door, perhaps.
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
Jolly good.
All
Either
right.
way.
He kind of is a bit... make a persuasion check.
Damn. Sort of gotten away with that without needing to.
Nuru is gonna ask Ella, "Hey, I know we're supposed to try to be polite and everything, but
Oh, that's...
how polite do we need to be to Cherral?"
Yeah, persuasion, you said, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Should we just follow your lead, or
9 total.
9. He kind of like looks behind him towards where all of the other acolytes are currently working. They seem to be setting up a variety of like valuable items, a goblet, a plate, sort of like a jewel encrusted sort of thing at the front of the altar in a certain way, perhaps to set up for some kind of ceremony or service. He kind of looks back at you. Yeah, listen, I don't really want to, like, lead you guys anywhere, because I'll probably get into trouble.
Oh, then just point us in the direction. We can take ourselves.
West Wing's that way. Have a good day. Kind of turns and walks away.
Well, that was easy.
Laura kind of looks at him and goes,
Goodbye, Hamish.
looks at Brüz and goes, just stay out of trouble, and follows him, just like gesticulating at him, and they kind of furiously whispering at each
No
other.
promises.
Wouldn't
where's the West
dream of
Wing?
it, Dora.
Say again?
I said, wouldn't dream of it.
Yeah.
Us trouble.
What are you guys gonna do?
We
Trouble?
should-
We're gonna get into trouble.
One trouble, please.
Oh.
I'll take the trouble to go.
Double,
Kind of trouble.
Oh my god,
double trouble to go, please.
I've missed this.
Can I
Are
get
we
trouble with cheese?
following? Are we gonna
Double
follow
trouble
up
with
on
cheese.
Double
this?
trouble with cheese.
'Cause that's fine. I just
Yeah,
wanted to make
Yeah,
sure
like I said, are we allowed to be rude to this guy?
I'm probably not going to be very effective, so I might.
Neither am I. I would suggest to everyone that instead of using your fists and your swords to fight, use your words to fight.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Right.
How rude can we be?
Great big smudge.
Are we allowed to be like really rude to him?
Should we let y'all do it
See
Once
how
in all
you go.
reason,
Just back him
manners
up,
when
or
possible.
Hmm.
I
Like,
think Yale should lead.
There
yeah,
is
it seems
absolutely a way to be rude, and he won't even fucking realize it.
good. Okay. Wait, do you have
Yeah,
anything you want me to do?
That's the way.
Ben, sure asks y'all. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
please bear in mind though that this is my hometown and this is my temple. And I
Okay,
would
got
very
it.
much like to be able to come back to
We
them.
should keep it where it's
Okay,
on.
don't burn any bridges. Got it.
If we
Exactly.
do get your bard, I'll convince them to unbar you.
Yes, mother.
I'm watching you, Bruce.
Arthrin chooses to stay, and he sits at one of the pews in this main chamber and enjoys the ambience. And he'll leave you guys to do the sneaky wordy stuff because he's not great at
Maybe
either
you
of
should
those.
stay with him.
Yells
I
going
live-
to Arthur.
Huh?
Maybe you should stay with him.
Okay.
So
She,
is Nuru going to stay with Arthrin?
She's not sure whether this is Kyro trying to wingman her or Kyro saying, "Hey, you're not good at talking," or maybe both. But whatever.
It
Maybe
could
bit
be-
column A, bit column
She
B.
she shrugs and she's like,
Okay,
"I'm
no,
gonna
that's
go
fine.
hang out with you, Scruffy."
Oh, all right, sure. I mean, maybe the fewer of us kind of go sneaking around this place, the better, because like more of us is going to make more noise and stuff.
Yeah, mostly like people already think Tabaxi are sneaky
Wait a
things
minute.
anyway. They're
What if you
gonna
guys
see
do
me
go
and be
sneaking?
like, you know.
What if you guys did go
Yeah.
sneaking while we go talk to Cherral? Maybe you could find the map.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
we're trying
yeah.
to doing, isn't it?
And you're really sneaky
Oh yeah, I am really sneaky,
when you're.
but not because I'm a Tabaxi, because I'm good at sneaking.
Sorry, Ella.
I had an idea. Talking of the map, I had an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a bit of a long shot, but I was maybe going to go up to my old room and see if maybe Mara had hidden it in there. Maybe.
We should check that out first, yeah.
Okay.
'Cause if we don't have to talk
No,
to this guy, the
it's-
better.
I mean, I'm just kind of thinking of everything and anything really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Checking places where she might hide things is a good idea.
In the West Wing as well.
Yeah, Ella would know that all of
Right
the
on the way.
rooms. Yeah, all of the rooms where the
So
servants of the temple would stay are on the West Wing, so that's not too far out of your way. Yell, you wanted to say something earlier. Sorry about that.
The conversation went in different directions. That's fine.
Okay.
I was basically going to tell Arthur to either steal or read as many books as possible to get as much information as possible, but he now may be doing something. So
yeah.
Ella.
So I was thinking
Mhm.
maybe Nuru, Arthrin, and myself, we maybe go and have a look, see if we can find the map, and then the rest of you go speak to Cherral.
Mm-hmm.
Cheryl's not a big fan of me, and I can't see him opening up or omitting anything while I'm there. And I'm not very good at, as you know, the whole interrogation thing.
Hmm.
I
I
don't
can
know.
cast Stone of Truth.
You've got Bruce, exactly. Bruce can do that side of things for you.
Okay.
Got it all
so
covered.
Ella, Arthrin, and Nuru are going to break away and go to Ella's room to see if they can find any clues there, or old room. And then everyone else is going to head to see if they can find Cherral wherever he may be in the West Wing.
And it's
So
just gonna,
the
Yeah.
Yell, Eirys, Kyro, and Brüz.
Yeah. I'd need 2 people in that
Four.
party to hold an investigation check, either by rolling an investigation check each, or one of you rolling with advantage, everybody else helping. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Who's going to herald it? Who's going to lead it?
Parties
Hey, between Ella and Nuru, who's better at investigating, do you think?
I mean, let me check.
Probably Ella, I
My
think.
investigation is
It's
+1,
Ella.
so probably
Ella's
Ella.
better. Help her.
I've got +3.
+3. Oh, I got to look up Arthrin's now. Oh.
Arthur might actually have the highest one.
He might be a bit better.
I highly doubt it.
Nuru's good
Oh.
at perception and stealth, mostly.
Yeah, +3 is the highest, so it makes sense that Arthrin and Nuru help Ella and give you advantage on an investigation check. Okay?
Am I doing that now?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, good job, I got advantage. Oh, that still look good. 12.
12. I mean, you guys are able to find your way to the room fine enough, and you spend 5, 10, 15 minutes kind of looking around. Luckily, there's nobody in there, but there is evidence in this space very similar to the kind of uniform sort of lodging spaces. There's evidence that there's been somebody living here, that somebody got out of this bed this morning, that the room is occupied since you left the temple, Ella.
Doesn't surprise her.
It's also a 12 on investigation, so apart from finding clothes in the wardrobe, there's a trunk that appears to be locked with a straightforward sort of padlock on it. Doesn't really appear to be anything immediately here that would be useful or relevant. What I'll do while you guys are thinking about that, I'll jump to the other team as well. Depending on how you want to go, do you want to just walk up the west wing, or do you want to go stealthily, or do you want to...
I'm following Yell's lead, whatever that is.
Walking with confidence.
Strutting.
Sounds good.
So again, let's do the same things. We're heralding an investigation check. Someone can take the lead and roll advantage, with the rest of the group helping out and
I
giving...
got a +4.
I have a +3, so you're currently better.
Which check are we doing?
an investigation.
Okay.
Roll good. That was exactly the same as last time and very moderately average. 16.
Did you do advantage?
16.
Oh, not with advantage.
Do advantage.
Yeah,
you have
you
advantage.
have advantage, yeah.
Okay.
You have a squad.
Oh, no, 16.
Okay, 16. You make your way, making your way down the West Wing.
Moving fast, walking past.
And I'm homebound.
We look like a force.
And I peaked. Anyway, I'm either really quiet or I'm really loud. There's no in between with me. I'm sorry. You guys make your way back up, and you actually go straight along and to a stairway at the end of a pretty long corridor, actually, up a winding stair and to the next floor. And as you go, you recognize actually the doors to Mara's study on the left-hand side that you have been in before. You keep on going. The corridor continues. It turns right just for a short little space of like a handful of doors. And the third door, I believe, on the left. Eirys, you're probably going to remember this. Actually, no, I don't remember if you guys will remember this. It depends on who was there. A handful of you had come across a bedroom door that was open last time.
Eirys is there.
Yeah. So you remember that you're in the same space. And your passive perception of 19, you make your way past one of the acolytes. Yell is actually walking at the front of this. Your passive performance and persuasion of 20, you just make eye contact with the acolyte that's walking in the other direction. And the acolyte just kind of like looks a little bit bemused, but you just naturally project an air of, no, I'm supposed to be here. So the acolyte just keeps on walking.
Walking with confidence.
Yeah,
Nice.
the walk-in with confidence.
I like this method.
When you have a passive
work, it was
persuasion
sneaky.
and performance of 20, you can walk anywhere. Anyway,
Yay! We have a free pass.
you're about to turn. You're about to take
Just wear a
another.
lanyard and you can walk anywhere.
Basically, yeah. Just find yourself a lanyard. Yeah. You're about to turn right. That would take you to a stair that takes you back to where you started along the west wing. But as you do, the last door on the left, Eirys, you hear voices from inside and you recognize them. Everybody stops.
And what do I hear? What voices are they that I recognise?
You definitely hear the sort of formal, low, proud tone of Cherral.
This is it. It's in there.
Should we knock?
What would you guys like to do?
Want to listen first?
Yeah, I'd like to eavesdrop. And
You like to
don't
eat-
eavesdrop.
Oh, you
I
dropping
want
to
to
Eve,
try
sir. I'm
to-
honest. So
Yeah, the other's going to put his hand to the door so that if Eirys hears movement, he's just going to start banging on the door.
okay,
Good.
So
okay.
that they have time to get out.
I'll listen too.
Brüz is going to just keep an eye on the stair. Did we just come up a set of stairs, or just come
You
to the top of a set of stairs?
you're coming. So the corridor carries on for a bit and turns right, and then there's a stair that goes down to the space that kind of acts as the kind of entryway, sort of. I want to say porch, but that's not the right word. But like the vestibule that leads into the main
Is it
chamber.
a little bit of a view from this landing?
Yeah, you could go around to the right, see down the landing, down this staircase into the main kind of doorway that leads into the main chamber.
Just within 5 or so feet of 5 to 10 feet of everyone else, Brüz is just going to sort of stand aside and peer about,
Make a perception check.
keeping an eye on things.
Eirys, also a perception at the door.
I got 21 and literally across 2 different dice and 3 different rolls, same number every time. Weirdest thing.
That
Huh, I just got
sounds
21
like
as well.
I know.
what's 9 plus 10? 21.
21!
That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard. I award you no credits, and may God have mercy on your soul. I'm going to get out my notes because that 21 is good enough. You put your head down towards where the keyhole of this door is, and you do overhear the following conversation. It's Orla. Sorry. Yeah, you're going to recognize the voice of Orla, Ella's mother from the day before, and
Oh, fun.
Cherral Novaste.
Interesting.
Orla, your personal feelings are getting the better of you. Think about the temple. Think about Ella. High Priest Novaste. Please, Orla. Call me Cherral. Cherral, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I don't have it. There's a sound of shifting of material as he apparently stands up and moves around the room. I'm beginning to see where Ella's rebellious edge comes from. Oh yeah, rebellious? I'm telling the God-sworn truth as an acolyte of Helm in the holiest place in Farenloth. You can't expect more compliance than that. And I'd appreciate it if you stopped bringing up my daughter. It's making me uncomfortable. There's a pause there. She continues. She needs to leave town. If and when the trail goes cold on her, snooping around, she'll tire of the game she's playing and take her group of dysfunctional companions away to some other town. Orla, you don't know that. Oh, and what, may I ask, do you know? You still haven't told me why you're here. The last 2 days have been challenging for all of us. We all miss Mara. I wanted to remind you that though it is wise to try and protect our lives here, and I am trying to protect our lives here, we cannot let our judgment be affected by what we feel. Of course, High Priest, I know that. Indeed, you know that, Orla. And I know I can count on your support at this time. When you're ready, just let me know. The sooner the better, of course. But when you're ready, I would appreciate seeing the map. I've already told you I don't know what you're talking about. Orla, I would rather we communicate frankly and freely. I do have other ways of having you speak honestly. But of course,
God.
you know that. You're an intelligent woman. I'll give you another day to consider. Ta-ta for now. You hear him turn and move towards the door. What do you do?
I'm like signaling to yell. Like,
Do we need to
I
go?
was knocking on
or-
the door, but I've got a
Okay.
thing that stops non-verbal noises, so you probably couldn't hear me knocking.
Fair
Oh,
enough,
I'm
fair
sorry. I'm sorry. At what point do you start knocking?
As Eirys does the signal,
Oh, okay.
that's when I start knocking. So that's what I was essentially waiting for.
There's a kind of hesitance. Were you expecting company? No.
while they're talking, I'm going to lean into yell and quickly, as briefly as I can, give them the bullet points of what I just heard.
Oh goodness. It's a couple of seconds. I don't know how
That's
much you're
fine.
going to be able to say. You might be able to relay this to them later, but you have a handful of words. What do you say?
Cherral wants the map. He thinks Ola has it. She doesn't have it. They're both in on something. That's it.
Well, my goodness.
Mr. Novaste, just the man we're looking for.
Zarek, it's good to see you. I'm glad that I'm glad for your visit, but I'm confused. How did you know I was here?
Oh, we had a hunch that you were over in the West Wing, and we got escorted over this way.
Did you speak with one of the acolytes on your way in?
We were greeted at the door, and then we got escorted this way because we were told you were here.
Brüz steps forward and goes, I believe I informed them of where you were.
I'll give Yell a straight persuasion roll, and Brüz can just have that for flavour.
That is a 19.
19.
Below a 10.
Folds his arms. Looks over at Orla. Orla gives him a kind of confused look and just kind of shakes her head. Oh, well, it's good to have you back in the temple. Shall we walk back to the main chamber? Kind of moves as if to come through the doorway. You guys are strictly speaking in his way, so...
I mean, seeing as, Miss Ickleberry is here as well, I mean, it might be useful for her to sit in on the conversation too.
What do you mean? You talking about Orla, or are you talking about Ella? Is Ella with you?
Ella had some other bits she needed to go do.
Okay, understood. I mean...
Brüz looks under his hooves, just checking back. No, she's not here.
It has happened. There's been accidental treading. She's a
No,
gnome.
I've never stepped on her one.
Anyway, he kind of looks at Orla. She kind of looks back, just like, this is unusual. I was due at the. Do you know what? It doesn't matter. If you permit it, High Priest.
This is unusual.
That's right. Well, with the High Priest's permission, you're welcome to come in. There isn't much space. I hope you don't mind. She kind of leads you into the main space. Let me describe it to you. Yeah, there's a large mosaic on the wall of a similar kind of style that you've seen both on the teleportation circle that you took to arrive at the temple, but also around the library and around the walls of the main chamber. It seems particularly ornate compared to the other bedrooms that you might have glanced into on your way past. There's a separate changing room to the right-hand side as you walk inside. There's a wardrobe immediately on the left. You can see that the door is hanging slightly open, and as she invites you in, she pushes it closed. What else? That's the main points. There doesn't appear to be a bed in here. There's a kind of guest table almost with 3 chairs around. She kind of goes over to the other door that apparently is into a separate almost bed chamber and closes that door behind her as well. She kind of turns around, kind of puts her hands together, goes, "I'm terribly sorry that I can't offer any more chair space."
That's all right. We're okay standing on the most part. Brüz, I think you may want a chair if there was one free, but
There are 3, yes.
Thank you. Brüz takes the most padded looking one.
One of them is more padded than the other 2. So
Brüz sits in that one.
it is at the head of the table. It is a regal picture. You guys...
all hail King Brüz.
Anyway, Cherral's still at the door. He's standing there with his arms folded. If you don't mind, I might stay just for a few minutes.
Oh, we wanted you as well.
Oh, right. He steps inside and closes the door behind him. So, how can we help?
Well, first off, what the hell does Trinnigan mean?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's a lie. And you know it.
Looks at Orla. Orla looks back. Excuse me, I hope you don't take this in the wrong manner. But who are you?
Brüz is going to cast Zone of Truth at this point.
Everybody needs to make a wisdom save.
Yep, everybody needs to make a wisdom save.
Again.
Natural 18, so plus 1 is 19.
What's the DC,
The
bud?
Elfin's still alive.
Oh,
It's a natural 20 for Brüz.
Is this for passing or? Oh
This is
wait,
for-
is it a wisdom?
Save.
A wisdom save
Wisdom
to,
save.
Okay,
to
12.
avoid having to tell the truth.
Okay.
6.
So,
What's the DC?
50. Sorry. I think it's either 15 or 17. Let me just quickly go check.
15 or 17?
It's 15.
15. Okay, thank you.
How big is the zone? Because we might not be in it.
What is the
It's like
size?
30 feet, I think, is my memory.
We're probably in it.
Yeah.
I think it's a 20-foot circle, isn't it?
You
so
hear
it's
echoing from
60
the... No,
Oh
I'm not
shit,
going to say
that
that.
ruins my plan. Okay, never mind.
It is a 15-foot sphere.
15 feet.
Oh, we
15
might be outside of
15-foot
that
radius.
actually. Then
15-foot
So-
radius, so 30-foot down.
Oh.
So,
we're probably in it.
so from where
Oh, yeah, 15... If it's a 30-foot diameter, yeah, it encompasses the whole space. You don't need to worry about it. You kind of... You watch as Cherral's eyes narrow further as the spell is cast. He hears the incantation. He turns around and goes, "What's going on? Why are you using this magic? Why are you attempting to elicit true answers out of me?
Did he pass or fail?
What does
You haven't
Druid-
answered my question. Who are you? Why are you at this
Nobody of
temple?"
importance.
I'm Brüz.
I am Zarek. I told you. Now, I am here for some very specific reasons. And you very much look like a man who kind of creepy, if I'm honest, with some of his students.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I treat every acolyte in this temple
Yell
with the
pulls out
utmost
the
respect.
painting. Now, see, if you look here at this very lifelike painting, the face that you're giving Miss Mara here is a very, very odd one. If someone were to see it, well,
I don't know who you people are, where you've come
serious.
from. I have
serious.
no idea. This is ludicrous. To look upon one student with pride is something that I will never
That's not
have to
pride.
defend.
High Priest, or should I call you Cherral? If you could just calm your tone.
You have
Think
come
it's
into this
very
chamber
wise.
uninvited. You have cast magic to attempt to elicit truth out of me.
You did
we
invite
were
us.
invited inside.
I was not expecting a zone of truth spell to be attempted to be cast.
Why don't you want to tell us the
Attempted.
truth?
Because I have nothing to hide.
Then why
That's
is it a
actually quite
problem?
the opposite. You have something to hide. You very much don't want to tell the truth. In fact, you probably make lies closest to the truth.
I could reflect this back to you. Who are you? Why are you here? What is
Nah,
with this
you see-
suspicious behavior? I don't understand.
Nah, it's not suspicious at all. You're being very suspicious.
We are
We
searching
are
for.
simply investigating.
Investigating Mara's death.
No, that's part of it. But Trinnigan specifically, both like kind of works here too.
He folds his
Tonight, for
arms.
example.
He leans back. Are you syndicate?
Oh my god.
No.
Yell would like to glance towards Eirys.
She
To
is
see
just
how she should
deadpan,
answer.
and she is going to insight the fuck out of that comment.
Yep.
What? I'm angry! And now I'm even angry. No, I'm going to use luck. Do I have
She's-
luck?
Yeah,
Yell can
yeah,
lie
3 points.
still. So he's trying to gauge from Eirys how he should answer.
I have luck.
I don't know
Okay,
any
okay, okay.
syndicate.
Okay, way better, way better. What am I even rolling now? Insight, okay.
Yeah.
27, I'm so insightful.
27.
Yeah.
You might want to go ahead and insightful fighting him.
And humble.
He is
Just don't answer him.
he's genuinely disturbed by the nature of the questions that you're asking him. He doesn't want to tell you the truth about what is on his mind. He's asking you whether or not you're the syndicate because you get the sense that the movements of the syndicate are something that's echoed across the whole continent. So word of the syndicate's deeds, kidnapping somebody in broad daylight, their kind of undercurrent of cultural influence and trine, rumors would spread. So he's asking whether or not you're the syndicate because you guys are asking him questions that's making him scared. And
The syndicate's a boogeyman.
yeah,
So
effectively.
He seems like he does not like the syndicate.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
that would be a bad thing. Cool.
he does he's interpreting what you guys are doing as encroaching, as invasive, as something he doesn't want to happen, and he's associated it with this evil group.
Actually, yes, we came here straight from Trine, straight from the syndicate. So I suggest you start talking.
What did the syndicate? Kind of like doubles back against the door that's closed behind him and looks at Orla. Orla's completely speechless, and her heads are in her hands, and she's sunk to one of the other chairs.
This is gonna implicate Ella, guys.
He kind of
You're not here.
he kind of leans back. What do you want?
Answers.
Roll intimidation with advantage.
How intimidating am I?
A
Moderately.
friendly dialogue is all.
Far more than real life, so I'll take it. Be scary. Okay, one dice was not, the other dice was okay. 18.
Okay. Okay. He kind of stays at the door. His breathing has intensified. Again, you look around. Orla has her head in her hands at the table. You get the sense from your natural insight that this is Ella's mum. Her companions have come in and said that they're from the syndicate. She's having a bit of a meltdown right now. You watch as...
Gonna move Cherral and place him in the chair. If he resists, he's going to
Okay.
Brüz is gonna
flicker his
gonna
eyes
get
back
up.
and go like,
With as you approach him to move him, he kind of goes, oh, okay, and he goes to the chair himself and he sits down. I don't know why you've come at this time.
"I just want to talk."
All right. I intend to cooperate. Just give me a moment.
your time.
Whilst
Oh yeah, sorry, Brüz.
so I was going to say, whilst is it Ola?
Orla.
Ella's mother?
Yeah.
Orla. Whilst Ola's gone quiet and Brüz is kind of sitting aside, he's going to like stand up and sort of say walk to wherever wherever Orla is. Just like sit closer to her, like change chairs, clean cup, move down, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he's just going to move down to where Orla is, and so when Yell is talking to Cherral, Brüz is just going to just have a couple of quiet pleasantries with Orla about how lovely a child Ella is.
Oh my god.
Just sort of like
Oh my
randomly
God.
aside the conversation because he's
Yeah, she's not going to respond to you because she appears to be in
No,
shock. But I'll let you roll persuasion. Just straight, just as you're just reinforcing some positive platitudes about Ella. At the same time as that, Cheryl's on the chair. Cheryl's on the chair.
it's an 20.
20. Okay. I'll deal with that in a minute. Okay. Thank you for bearing with me.
Sure. Cherral in the chair.
Well, you probably are already aware, as most people are, of the tragic death of one of the sages of the temple, Mara. One of my finest pupils, a superb researcher, talented in the organization of historical documents and finding patterns and uncovering theories and ideas about previous culture and events that wouldn't have been uncoverable otherwise. She was remarkable. She died. She was killed in her study some months ago. The body removed from the study that she was found in. She was found by Ella Ickleberry. Orla, at listening to these words, kind of looks up in just kind of shock at what she's hearing. Ella found her by the time that we got to the study. The body was gone. Didn't believe it, but we have looked and cannot find her. We have to assume that she's dead. We set up a story about a terrible horse and cart accident in which she died to cover it up. At the same time, we've been trying to do our own investigations. We were contacted some months ago. Listen, I need some guarantee for my own safety. You understand? I've obviously come into contact with dangerous people, and I don't know if telling you this is going to mean my death by their hands. I'm sorry,
We can guarantee that in a second. Roll back a couple of seconds. Are you telling me you haven't actually found a body?
No.
So there's been no guarantee that she's actually died?
There were bloodstains
She may just be missing.
bloodstains on her desk that took her more than a few man-hours to wash out.
Yeah, how
Are you
much
sure it was
blood?
her blood?
Yell turns to Eirys. Can I borrow a dagger quickly?
No.
Sure.
What are you gonna do?
In
Please,
particular
no.
Favorite, I've got loads.
Please, no.
Just one. Not you.
Have this one. It's my third favorite.
All right. Look, any cut can do a lot of blood, and Yell just scores his arm.
Okay, roll 1d4.
What was that, sorry?
Roll 1d4, because that's the dagger's base damage.
Do you meet your AC?
2, are you going... that's an auto hit, right? Are you doing it with finesse, or are you doing it with a strong kind of thrust, like, swipe?
Oh, yeah, it's a dagger I can shoot.
That'd be
Probably a
finessing
strong
that shit.
swipe, just so that there's a bit more blood.
What is your strength modifier?
That is a +3.
You take 5 points of...
No, +2, sorry.
Okay, 2. So you take 4 points, I'll say, of slashing, because you're deliberately kind of cutting it across your arm, and blood pours out of the arm. Orla kind of gasps. Cherral gives her a side eye, and she kind of like prevents herself from screaming. Yeah,
Yell wiped off the blade and hands it back. Thank you, Eirys.
I understand what you're saying. We really have found no trace, and she would have no reason to
You
run
didn't do a
anywhere.
great job. We found
Who
a few
contacted
traces.
you?
Sorry, yell first. What did you say?
I said you didn't do a good job. We found a few traces in that room. After
Okay.
all this time.
Kira, what did you say?
Who contacted you?
Roll intimidation with advantage, Kira.
Also, Eirys is just staring at him, wiping the blood off, like.
That's where the advantage comes from, let's say.
I crit and I got a 29.
Whoa! The cult of Manalignum Trindigan. It was a small group of angry farmers who were unsatisfied with their working conditions. One of them, what's his name? I promise you, I don't remember. But one of their leaders made a pilgrimage into the winter wastes. Came back raving about a
Impenetrable fortress?
how the fuck. I didn't know the syndicate's arm stretched so wide.
As I said, we're good.
They contacted us through notes initially, and then through bravery, dressing up in plain clothes and approaching the temple, posing as penitent repenters. They were asking for the remnants of Mara's research, specifically a map. And I haven't been able to find one. And Brüz, what were you going to say?
Just whilst this conversation is happening, Brüz is going to walk up to Yell to do a cure wounds on him, just whilst the conversation's happening. But he's also going to flick his hood up on his robe and turn it red, like the red cloaks are, just to see if Cherral responds.
You reach over and you place your hand on Yell's, and your fingers go over.
shoulder.
Oh, on the shoulder. Okay, you place your hand on the shoulder. Roll the healing. How much healing?
It'd be a cure wounds. I was saying it's 1d8. Yeah, 1d8 plus 4.
Okay. Doesn't matter. It's going to heal everything, isn't it?
More damage, yeah.
Yeah. So as you kind of reach over and place your hand on Yell's shoulder, the blood. Have you seen Road to El Dorado when like the blood flows back into Zekel Khan's hand in reverse? Anyone in the audience?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like that all happens, and you're trickery domain, right? So
Yes.
yeah, you make the tendrils of magic that come out and do that healing magic, red, the same color as the robe. As you pull the robe up and the hood turns color, he looks at you doing that. He sees the robe change color. He goes, "Are you undercover? Are you undercover for the cult? Have you been able to find out any more about them? I would be willing to pay for the information.
Brüz flicks the hood back and it turns back to like a dark brown as he starts muttering. What did you say? Sorry.
Are you an undercover agent? Are you in the cult to know the color of their robes?
We know a few things.
As we said, you didn't do a full sweep of the room.
I was trying to be as meticulous as I could. I am a cleric. I am a man of prayer, not a man of
I'll pull down a
inquiry.
single thread.
I too am a man of the cloth.
Sometimes you really need a keen eye. And a man.
How much money?
Mm-hmm.
I just what's in the coffers of the Temple of Helm? What tithes do the townsfolk give to the temple for the day-to-day maintenance? It depends on the nature of the information. If you could guarantee that you could, I mean, you could. It's potentially a threat to the syndicate. It's a cult. It's in ascendance. They claim to have a power base in the Winter Wastes. They were looking for a map to that castle. I don't know why. Maybe if we were to work together, if we were to source the location of the map, I had my theories. Looks at Orla, and Orla kind of winces and goes,
Kyro looks at Yo. Says, "Do you think it's worth it?"
Getting paid or
You know,
getting the map? Getting the map, absolutely.
Orla,
Getting paid.
she kind of looks up over and sees Eirys.
do you have the map? Or do you know where it is?
It would be a great help, and we could get out of your hair a lot quicker if we could have that map.
Looks at Cherral. Cherral kind of looks across. He's clearly still scared, but the glower that goes across the room towards Orla has a dark undertone that you do not like. She looks back.
Yell steps in front of Cherral to block him.
Yeah, I think Brüz was doing the same thing,
Cherral.
kind of leaning into the line of sight.
Orla is now one of our informants for this mission, and she is under our protection. You will not lay a finger on her, or you will have to answer to us.
Yell just turns his head back. This time his eyes are black.
I'd like to extend that to the relatives as well.
Brüz is going to do the same thing and turn his eyes black when he sees Yelda.
Listen, the last few minutes, a lot of circumstances have changed. I didn't know that the Syndicate knew about this situation. I didn't know that they had sent agents. I didn't know that you were here. I didn't know that you were here. I didn't realize that there was a connection with all this family. For Helm's sake, by the beard of Bahamut, so much has changed. I will offer you my entire cooperation. If you need assistance, if you need gold, if you need provisions, looks at Orla. Orla kind of quietly gets up and kind of goes, I have the map. Just tell me, I need to know. Ella.
The reason Ella is not here with us is because she is not a part of this.
Really? Roll persuasion. In fact, roll deception, sorry.
Well, technically telling the truth.
She's not a part of the syndicate.
It's odd.
It is the truth that Ella's not part of the syndicate.
I mean,
But you're layering on the lie that you guys are in the
deception.
syndicate.
It's a
That's true.
deception.
and
It's a
Brüz
deception.
was,
I'm
Brüz
willing-
was making
No, this
Yeah.
Brüz was making some niceties moments ago before he came over to heal. Yeah,
is trying to.
Honestly, you
16.
could probably pull her
16.
aside and tell her that you're not part of the syndicate as long as what's-his-face doesn't know.
Okay, at what point does this work? Guys, well done for staying focused. This is really cool. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm
So she's
obviously
rolling
holding a lot.
insight,
She is rolling an
right?
insight against your deception. She kind of looks up at you and makes eye contact. Glances at Cherral, then at you, and then winks. Using the eye that isn't towards Cherral.
Works for me.
I have the map, and with the High Priest's permission... Yes! For goodness sake, woman, give them the fucking map!
mind your
Excuse
manners,
me.
sir.
Language.
I am undone.
We are in a temple of a god. That kind of language isn't quite necessary now.
Have you no respect for the weave?
You,
Yell actually does laugh as Eirys says that.
There is grins.
Orla stands up. She walks across the room, and as she goes, I'm assuming that Eirys is beside the wardrobe at this point. She goes beside, and she kind of glances up. You pick that up as in a way to say, there's a conversation to be had, but not now.
Mhm.
She opens the bottom drawer of the wardrobe, because it's a door and then a bunch of drawers at the bottom. The bottom one comes out. She removes it in its entirety and places it down. She reaches into one of the floorboards there. She's there for a few seconds and then piece of parchment comes out. You promise me my daughter's safe.
Absolutely.
I promise you, every single day, we'll be keeping her as safe as we possibly can.
She keeps us safe.
That she does, and I commit my life to making sure she stays safe.
I fully believe the majority of us, if not all of us, would give our lives for her.
Yes.
She's had too many people who've been willing to make that sacrifice. She holds out the map to you.
To me. Okay, I put it in the bag of holding.
You have received the map that leads you to the lair of Count Manalignum.
Da-da!
Bum, 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 bum.
Thank you very much for that. It's, remember, that was my name off the top of my head.
Ola.
Ola.
Ola. It is Ola.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Ola.
That's
Ola,
much
Ola.
appreciated.
Just promise me that Ella will stay safe. That's all I ask.
I promise.
She's close to tears. Cherral stands up and goes, well, I feel like we've cooperated. I feel like a lot of mysteries have been solved as to who you are.
Cherral.
You mentioned something about coffers and some money. That offer sounded very interesting for gearing up before taking on this impenetrable fortress.
I would also like to add that the Syndicate does do work for coin, and it sounds like these Red Cloaks have been giving you trouble.
Yes, we would be willing to pay for the cult of Trindagon to be destroyed.
Very good. We'll keep that in mind.
I know that they have a nearer outpost than that castle. I believe they hide out in the woods north of here. It would make the most sense. We've had...
That would explain the runaway and where he was heading.
I mean, I was only going by rumor, but if you have any kind of evidence as to the location of the cult's
We have a great
outpost...
deal of evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I appreciate that. Listen, maybe I haven't enamored myself very well. Maybe I haven't behaved in the most... Maybe I haven't behaved in the most erstwhile and honest way. Maybe my motivations were for myself, as opposed to the welfare of the temple. But listen, you need to understand,
Cherral. You seemed
I'm
quite
loving this.
concerned for your welfare earlier. I suggest if you want to stay safe, you will stop talking now.
We'll be seeing you.
Very soon.
As you guys step out of the room, the
Oh,
last
before-
thing... Oh, yeah.
Brüz.
Brüz.
Before stepping out of the room,
Mhm.
Brüz will have said to Cherral to remember, use your best manners. And then he's going to turn to Ola. He's going to just sort of lean down quietly. He's going to sort of reach into one of his pockets, pull out one of the small purple mushrooms, and say to Ola, when you find a nice sunny afternoon, maybe a Tuesday, Tuesdays are normally good, take this and enjoy some clouds. You'll feel better. Gives it the mushroom, and then he stands up and walks out.
Just as we're closing the door behind us, Eirys sits back to Cherral and gives him a really dark wink, like a sinister wink.
He kind of
Like a
stays still,
wink.
and as the last thing you hear as the door closes is Ola's voice going, "Thank you."
Neat.
Yell is going to quickly use sending. And he's going to send a message to Cherral.
Okay.
And just so you're aware, I've seen your face now. I can keep an eye on you.
Oh my god.
There's no immediate reply. You hear the sound of one of the chairs in the room behind you just being knocked down.
Let's go find the others.
Mm.
That went well.
Question mark?
Good job.
I would say it went well. Yell would like to ask Eirys something, but we can get to the others first.
I mean, we
wait till
can.
later.
You can ask while we're walking if you.
There seems to
assume
be a
the
lot
others
to be
were doing
done.
something.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump back over.
I assume they are doing stuff.
Guys,
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. Like Nuru, Ella, Arthrin's me. I don't care. But
Oh no, don't worry.
I'm
about it.
really sorry that you guys weren't there.
I'm
You're in
upset.
you're in
Oh,
the
no.
bedroom. You're there.
I
That's-
enjoyed that.
Now it's our
Yeah.
turn to be quiet and listen.
I think, speaking as a DM, that was tip top. Anyway, you guys are in the room. You're in there for a few minutes. You don't really see anything, and a few minutes later, the door opens and an acolyte comes in, and it is Adrian,
Oh,
the guy who showed you around but didn't show you around earlier on. Oh,
Hi.
hi. What are you guys doing in my room?
this is your room.
Whoops.
Yeah, I'm actually not very long here. I've only been here for a few months. This was
how you
the room that
finding
they
it?
had. It's okay. A lot of book shuffling, a lot of prayer. I can do. I can. I'm getting okay. He kind of reaches out his hand. May I?
Go ahead.
Places his hand on your shoulder and casts Cure Wounds. It doesn't heal anything, but you feel the radiant energy flow through your body. So I'm picking up a couple. Oh, thank you. Thanks. Seriously, it's taken me a little. It's taken me more than I've been working on that since I got here. I'm kind of proud because it was only a few days ago that I really got there. Helm's
Well
been
done.
good to me. Helm's been really good to me.
Oh. I'm glad. Oh, good. Anywho, this is now getting slightly awkward because we're now standing in your room when we really shouldn't be in your room. So we're gonna go.
Okay, that's fine.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Yeah, you too. Helm, be with you. Light be with you.
You too.
Waves.
We're just gonna, Ella's just gonna scurry out.
Yeah. Arthrin follows.
Okay, yeah, now what do we do?
I don't know. Hang on. Let me message the others. See where they're at.
Hmm.
Who do I message? Who do I message? Let's message Kyro.
By the way, Nuru would like to, next time she sees a bookshelf or a book anywhere, she's just gonna steal it.
All right. Gonna just pull up my copper wire, and go. Hello, only me. How's things going? All good.
Kyro, you're going to hear that as you come out of the RP
as we just
craziness.
finished?
Yeah, as you just come out.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because they were looking around in
It
that room
went-
for a while.
Really well. We found the map. Where are you?
Oh, fantastic! Great, brilliant! Ha! Amazing! We're just coming out of my old room. Shall we meet you outside?
Sounds good.
Okay.
outside.
So you got a message, Ella?
Yeah, they got the map.
They got... Wow.
Well, then what are we doing?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
So yeah, go 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 go!
All right.
She stuffs a random book into her bag.
You guys... Oh. Book. There aren't really any books along these hallways. They're just sort of regular kind of hanging lamps that are lit with small candles, the occasional alcove with a window inside.
I steal a candle.
Okay.
I just want to steal something.
Nuru, I'd like you to roll luck, please. Which means I want you to roll what I'm going to call a D100 and hope that it isn't below 10%.
All right, hold on.
I'm glad you're stealing
Where's
something no
my-
one will miss.
Have I ever asked anyone to roll luck before in this campaign?
No, I guess
You asked me to roll.
I guess
luck,
I'm lucky, huh?
Yeah.
And I rolled.
It's
I
not a
rolled the
D100,
D20
you
and
fool.
got a nat
I'll
1.
roll it for
And
you.
Mine.
Brüz wandered.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Where did my
That was the only
got a
occasion that I can
34.
recall.
I got a 34.
34. You grab it, and the candle kind of that's lit snuffs out as it goes into your. And you gain 1 candle. You can actually add it on. Guys, you can add it on D&D Beyond.
I shall.
You never know what random shrapnel you'll need.
Okay. You guys make your way out of the temple with your acquisition, with your information, and meet outside. Anyone want to say to anybody?
I like both groups have met.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here now.
Do we spot Lauren on the way out?
Laura, yeah, she's still in
Laura?
the main kind of vestibule. She seems to be taking a break by standing on one of the pews along the main.
If we don't get a direct walk past, Brüz will give her a wave from afar as we walk through.
You guys, yeah, she's at the far end of the front right pew, so she isn't immediately beside you. So she waves at you, she smiles, and you guys leave the temple.
Well, we're the best group. We got the map and spoke to Cherral. Drinks are on you guys.
I like that plan.
Thanks, Ron Cherral.
We didn't get paid yet.
Oh, we haven't got.
We can get paid
that
at any
yet.
time, though.
We're gonna get paid?
Yeah.
So
I figured we would just figure out what we need and then go back to him and get all the money.
We got answers, we got the map, and we got a job.
Like I said, silver tongue devil.
There you are.
Great job!
I.
It went
Okay.
different.
And your
than I
mother was
expected it
there
to.
too.
What?
We'll
Your-
talk
your
about that
mama.
later.
That's a later
Was
question.
also
That's
up
a
there.
later conversation.
Oh,
Maybe with an ale or two down us.
We should
Okay.
probably find a spot
Oh.
and check out that map, right?
Yeah.
That's the point. Does
Yes,
anybody
sir.
have any spare parchment? I'll make copies.
Oh,
That way, if we get separated, we can still get there.
get us out his satchel.
let me check my pocket.
I have a book with paper in it.
It's blank and I can draw on it.
I
Yeah, sure.
have some Tabaxi census records. I could pull out some of the back pages, but
I've actually got 10 sheets of parchment.
Now,
Brüz.
Okay, yeah,
Brüz
never
pulls
mind.
from
She
deep
puts
in
that
his purse and
away.
Pulls out a folded wad of parchment.
Amazing.
All right.
Oh, wow.
It's
Get
some-
a copy of the
something
map
we need.
when we're sat down a bit then.
Hands one to Yell, and the rest of it disappears down into a corner of
Thanks,
his
Bruce.
elbow somewhere.
yeah. Like Sekal Khan from Road to El Dorado. Anyway,
okay.
the comparisons keep coming. Great movie, by the way. You got to watch it if you haven't. You guys. So are you gonna copy the map across right here in front of the temple?
Oh no! Like when we're sat
We
down.
need to
and
go
done for
somewhere
the day.
more.
Where would you guys
Right.
like to go? It seems to be maybe noon, maybe shortly afterwards.
What
You
about
think
your
the
grandfather's
tavern-
shop? Can we use the upstairs?
From what you remember, there wasn't a second story of the annex. It was like almost like a ramshackle thing that was attached to the side of the.
Can we go out back? Will there be privacy there?
A member of your family we could crash with for a little bit, just so we get a bit of privacy to copy it down.
There is Grandpa's library. That's nice and quiet.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Gramps Thunderdon owns a smaller library than the temple, but as you had learnt from Grammy last session, it's got maybe a wider range of texts on deities that may or may not be legal in the Empire.
It's Black market library.
Not a grandfather.
Black market
very
DVDs.
interested in such a place.
Mm.
Very interested.
If there's no objections, then shall we head to the library?
No objections.
No objections.
You guys head across.
On the way, Yell would like to speak to Eirys so that nobody else is within hearing range.
We can drop back.
You guys watch as Yell and Eirys fall back. Is anyone going to make a concerted effort to listen to them?
I was
Brüz
walking
is actually
probably with her.
going to step
but-
forward with Ella.
She falls back.
Okay, so you guys have to roll stealth, each of you, to
I'll
have
catch up
this. Oh, okay. So roll stealth
Damn
anyway.
suspicious friends.
Yeah. Tushibalba.
Is it stealth?
Yeah. To talk
26.
quietly without being heard. 26.
7.
So
Okay.
Eirys is silently whispering back, and you're just like yelling back at her.
So effectively,
Yep,
most of your
Yell
passive
lives up to his
perceptions,
name.
most of your passive perceptions would pick up what Yell's saying, which probably isn't enough to fully understand what's being
Let's
talked
find
about.
out what Yell says.
Yeah. So effectively, just consider everything that Yell says audible and everything that Eirys says inaudible. Crack on.
I love hearing one side of a conversation.
Like a phone.
So, does Aurora know we're not with the Syndicate?
Not yet. My thought was we play them for. Oh, Orla. I think she knows.
Okay.
Cherral has no fucking clue. I was gonna play him for a
Cherral's-
bit and then maybe take some enjoyment once he's paid us, and maybe let
was-
him know he was played for a fool. He's a dick. I really just like to screw with him.
Oh, he is such a dick. It'll be so good to screw with him.
Hmm.
I was kind of
Oh.
hoping we could get paid half before we left. But, oh well.
But once we've got the money, not before.
Oh yes, of course.
Mm.
In which case then, although Orla seems to know, I won't send a message just to confirm it all for her yet. Just in case. I mean, she didn't like him that much. I could tell.
Do you think
He's
she's
definitely-
safe for us to leave her with him? I think he knows not to do anything, right?
I would hope so, but now I am worried about that. I know they don't have the greatest relationship, but it'd still be bad if something were to happen to her.
You could tell her where Kyron is at least, that she's got friends, unaligned friends, neutral friends in the city.
Alright, I'll send a message when we're at the library then.
They're staying at the guardhouse. They know where they are at the guardhouse. Tell her to go there if there's any trouble.
Yeah, okay. And good job with the old interrogating stuff.
I was about to say the same.
And appreciate you letting me borrow a knife. I think it really helped us get back for a bit.
I feel like we're at that level of our friendship.
Sharing each other's knives. Ah, what a level to be at.
This once. We'll see how we go from here.
Of course. Don't want to rush anything.
My third favorite.
Oh, wow.
It's a statement.
I'll take it.
Oh my god.
We make a good team.
Yeah. I appreciate the work you do. It's
You too.
damn impressive.
Who rolled? Why did you roll? Don't
Nah.
like it.
It's part of our new in-game banter feature at the bottom of the stream. You can type banter into Roll20 and the stream will pick it up. Cool. Does anyone else have anything to talk about as you make your way towards Thunderdun's library?
How's it
We can
going,
certainly
Arthrin?
talk to Arthur at some point, but
Oh, Kyro. Hey, well done. That was I mean, you guys freaking swept up.
I didn't say much.
Yeah, how'd you get him to pay us?
Yeah.
He offered.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I never
amazing.
would guess.
That's so cool.
He wants this problem taken care of, and well, I mean, we're gonna do it anyway. Might as well get paid.
You're talking about the guys in red, right?
Yeah.
I guess that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, they would be a problem.
Feels good to be It feels good to have a direction, doesn't it?
Sure.
Anyway.
That guy, Manalignum or whatever,
Mhm.
sounds like a vampire name, doesn't it? What if he was a vampire?
I mean,
Why would a vampire live on the surface?
you mean like the blood-sucking demon people with like sharp teeth and
Yeah,
they can turn into
Like-
bats?
yeah, like one of those.
I think the leader of
Like
the syndicate.
my brother sometimes like writes in his spare time. I mean, it's mostly erotica, but sometimes sometimes there's vampires in it. And
I think the leader of the syndicate is a werewolf.
what?
Yep,
Why would he be a werewolf?
makes about as much sense as Malignum being a vampire.
I'm just thinking because, like, that name, you know? And the fact that he's got a cult and a spooky castle
It's scary.
with, like, mist.
All of those things are scary, but like bad guys have castles like that, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that he's a
Yeah,
mythical
that's
creature.
true.
I mean, mythical creatures.
Yeah, I don't actually think he's a vampire. That'd be silly, but she thinks about it. She's like, but what if though?
Yeah. I suppose there are crazy things like giant lizards that spit acid flying through the sky. So why not?
What really?
I mean, since I've been dragged out of Trinstone and all the way across this country, I've seen crazy stuff. Like we remember. No, you weren't with us, Nuru.
What?
We
what?
went
Tell
to-
me about it.
We went to the top of a mountain to resurrect Kyro's brother, and we fought like this wraithy ghost thing that could summon zombies.
Wow!
Yeah.
That's sick.
Slowly
Yeah.
moves away slowly.
And I'll
Give
say
them space.
Arthrin and Nuru just spend the next few minutes.
She's very impressed by your guys' previous adventures.
Just freaking out. They're both like freaking out over how cool it's been. And when he gets to the bit where he's actually no, was Nuru with the party when he scared away the dragon? He wasn't, was he?
No, she was not.
That was just before.
I
That
put
was-
the,
that was just before
I
it
knocked
got
the arrow on the bow, and I drew it, and I knew that I was bullshitting it, but I said it anyway. I said, "Pick up one of the dead wyverns and fly away." And the dragon did it.
He's going to be embellishing the story every time he tells it now.
And she's like, come on, you did.
Ask these guys. Ask these guys. I can't believe it
Did
either.
that really happen?
Yeah, he totally
Bruce
didn't
says
eat me.
Absolutely
He's not
every
bullshitting me,
word.
right?
Yeah,
If you're
Every
bullshitting me, I'm
word
gonna
is
hit you.
absolute truth.
I mean, it would probably
I
hurt.
was distracted at the time.
It definitely happened.
Oh,
Ah! She's.
He definitely saved the day.
I mean,
I should have joined up with you guys sooner. You guys are so cool.
It's just Arthrin, really.
Bruce, seriously, stop it. You're making me flush.
It's just Arthrin who's cool, really.
Yeah, he did everything basically.
But did you?
Yeah,
It
Yael
was-
pats him on the back and casts prestidigitation to change his cloak bright pink.
Oh, who am I
What about
kidding? Who am I kidding? I love you
It
guys.
really pissed off that guy.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Jeez. Amazing. Anyway, as you guys are talking, you get to the front of a small ramshackle building on the outskirts of town on the northwest edge. And yeah, Ella, you recognize this as being the Thunderdon Library. Moderately small building, nowhere near to the size and scale as either the Arcanum Academy or the Temple of Helm. The
She
door's
just-
there. Yeah.
She goes through.
Yes. No. What am I going to do for this guy? Because this shit wasn't planned for.
Sorry, just
Ronzu Thunderdon is an elderly gnome, even by gnomish standards. He stands. Oh, how tall is Ella? Oh my goodness.
3 foot. 3 foot.
Okay, so he's 2'10", probably, kind of hunched over with a cane,
Super
kind of
smoky.
humbles through. It's time for another visitor to the Thunderdon Library. Welcome. No. Oh, Ella, come here, come here. Kind of comes over and gives you a big hug.
Hey, Grandpa.
I
Gnomes are
suspected
great.
Grammy said that you were in town. You called
I
her
am.
over last night.
Oh yeah,
she,
she's still mad about that.
she said that she was asleep, but she was lying. Anyway, how can I help? How can I help?
God, Grandpa.
Well,
Welcome to my library. It's not as elegant as the Temple of Helm library, but it's
my friends and me, we need to hang out here for a bit.
You've
just
got studying to do.
studying. Oh, do you need ink, parchment? Do you need access to reading
That would
material?
be lovely.
Yes, to all of the above, if you don't mind.
Well, do come in. Come in.
Oh.
Yes.
Do you have books about
Thank you.
hags? Do you
Sorry.
have books about hags?
Books about hags.
Yeah.
They have some encyclopedia of magical beings, fae and the like. Yes, I think I probably do have some information on hags.
Cool.
Ella, sorry, did you say something? Yeah.
Let me introduce you to everyone.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So, that was Kyro,
All right. Kyro? Yes.
and and this is Eirys.
Hello, Eirys. Good to meet you. My name
Hi.
is Ronzu Thunderdon. They used to call me Thunder Thighs. Not anymore, though. No. Anyway,
Okay.
And this is Brüz.
Yes, Brüz.
Hello.
It's your first
that's-
time in a library, Brüz.
Most certainly not, sir.
I
have
had a feeling, yes.
I have a small collection of books back in my cave.
Oh, you live in a cave.
It
Wonderful.
it is nicely furnished now. It has taken some time, but it is certainly a suitable accommodation when all you need is time to read.
Yes, sounds wonderful. A cave of wonders, almost.
This is Yale. This is Nuru. This is Arthrin.
Howdy.
Howdy doody time. Yes, excellent. We're just, I'm just, yeah, we're just discovering Arby's just jumped off the Discord because he's experiencing some connectivity issues. So that's moved around things on the stream. So sorry about that. Never
I
mind.
mean, I'm happy being the DM. I don't mind. It's okay.
And then Arthrin dies.
I'm
Well,
Seriously.
I'm
He
afraid
yeah, sorry,
I'm
Bruce.
going to have to kill you.
I love you, but I'm afraid I'm going to have
Thank
to kill you.
you. I'm gonna do that.
I'm going to take you through. You're going to go through to the center of this library. So as opposed to like the spokes in the main library, it's more like a central sort of room that's lined with shelves. And then in the middle of the space, there are two shelves kind of separated from each other. And in the center of the space is a dining table size table with a bunch of YMCA, with a bunch of writing implements there. He's like, well, help yourself to any of the writing implements here, and I wish you all of the best in your studies. Is there anything in particular? I mean, I'll fetch the book on hags right away, but is there anything else we can help you with?
Oh.
Or Ella?
Question: I did ask Grammy this.
Yes. Oh, she doesn't have such a good memory, you know. You know, they say that the 3 things you lose in old age, the first one is your memory. And then,
That's the second one, I believe.
oh. Well, you know, you get the point. Anyway, I'm sure what I was saying didn't matter. Anyway.
The third one is always your memory.
Yes. Anyway. Yes. We've lost internet over here, bro. Anyway, Brüz, sorry. Were you asking for something, or am I just stalling for time?
I was going to ask. It was suggested that your selection of tomes here may spread a little more broadly in religious material.
Oh, yes, we have the tomes on, you know, Melora, the Wild Mother. That's outlawed in the Empire. I don't give a shit about that. What else?
Well,
Have
How
some.
come?
curious
Yes.
How
to
come?
know whether or not you had any tomes on the Traveler.
The Traveller. History check. You know, I think I've heard some rumors about a wandering spirit that enjoys pranking those that come into contact with him. I don't think there's very much written. It's a relatively new phenomenon, only last couple of decades that I've really heard of the Traveller becoming even passing in folklore and rumor more than anything. Don't think I've got any books on
really?
it. I mean, maybe it's worth if you're here to study, maybe it's worth writing down a short treatise, and then having something on the Traveller.
I'm sure if we meet him one day, it might be good to write something down.
Oh, I would look forward to it. I mean, as long as you keep stum. The garrison doesn't like, you know, anything that isn't Barmet or Helm, you know, or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. And in answer to your question, my dear Tabaxi, the expression of religious freedom is something that I would consider to be a right. And the state clamping down on a religious practice simply because it doesn't meet their approval.
Well, yeah, I agree. Like, but how come the Empire doesn't like, I don't know, the certain groups like that?
I imagine that, you know, the populace being allied to lawful good deities would make lawful good public. I mean, that must be the idea. Personally, I think it's bullshit, but, you know, I'm just an old gnome that likes scribbling, so...
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. She says, my village was mostly Namoradin, and they didn't much care for like the more chaotic stuff. That's for thieves and whatever.
Yeah. Well, interesting. What's the name of that village?
I don't. What was the name of her village?
Oh, you don't know.
That's something you should know.
I didn't come up with it.
Okay.
Come up with a dwarf name. Call it Rock Hill.
I kind of pictured it being in the middle of sort of this big farm fieldy kind of place on the edge of a forest.
Okay.
So Green Meadow. Let's go with that.
Okay. And then if we need to retcon later, maybe there's somewhere that already on the map that might suit. But anyway, cool.
Oh, you know Green Meadow.
I mean, if it's between the sea and the woods, then maybe Grain's End or something.
Okay. You know Grain's End. Just
yeah.
You know, it's just a little farming village, mostly hill dwarves.
Ah, yes.
Not very interesting, if I'm being honest.
A lot of migrants to Grain's End after the Empire established Trinstone. I think there was a bit of a crisis of conflict of interest on, you know, the culture of mining, and I don't know. Dwarves are stubborn. Sorry, I mean, no disrespect, obviously.
Oh no, like dwarves are proud of being stubborn. Are you kidding? Like
Yeah.
they stick to their ways and like they stick to them. I don't know. Like I'm not a dwarf. I was raised by them, but you know I have a lot of respect for them.
Yeah, indeed. As you guys settle down and you begin making copies of this map and just having a bit of a rest, I'm going to call a break because the cameras have been freaking around and jumping all over the place. So I'm going to sort that at the same time as the break time is happening. So enjoy this little show. We're going to take a break just for the bathroom, and I need more water. Hope you've been enjoying it. I think it's freaking sick. We'll be back in a few minutes. So yay! Bye bye.
Bye.
See you soon.
Arthrin, good to see you again. Hello, Trent. Would it be another ale, the same as always? Yeah, set it up. 3 copper, same as always. I take it that you'll take your usual place. Yep, just me and my ale in the court. Oh, the booth seems to be taken. Well, so it does. Well, I suppose you could always sit somewhere else.
I'm gonna head over there.
Oh, Arthrin, wait.
Hey! The wee bug octopus rolling around the floor.
Gentlemen, huh? The day's been long and I'm in need of rest. I'd love to sit here.
Well, excuse you, pretty boy. As you can see that we've got this booth for ourselves, you're gonna have to move on.
Listen, I just really like this booth, alright?
I said, move on.
I'll move on when you leave.
Hey, we're not going to have any trouble in here. Take it outside, or put an end to it.
You should listen to the Dragonborn, wee lad. Or I'll fuck you up.
That's right. Keep on fucking walking.
Arthrin, my boy. What on earth's wrong?
My dearest Bartholomew, how I miss you. These lonely days have passed without incident, and the towers of Valence Kier rise so high in the sky, yet so detached from the mire below. I wish so much for us to be together, but the only way we can contact each other is through shadowy deals made with roguish delivery boys who have more courage than sense. I urge you to make your way to Valenskier so we can meet. I don't care what my father says.
What are you doing? Whoa! Whoa! Calm down!
Arthrin,
What were you doing? Were you reading something?
doesn't matter what I was doing.
Is that the letter?
No,
It is, isn't it?
no,
Bet it is.
it isn't.
So, what is it then?
It's nothing.
Are you sure it's nothing? Because it looks to me like you're reading this letter. Are you hoping for a romantic story of two star-crossed lovers or something? I wouldn't have thought it of you, Eirys. Or not! Or not!
You didn't see this.
I didn't see this.
This never happened.
Right! Never happened. Absolutely.
Go back to sleep.
Back to sleep. Uh-huh. Yep. Whew. Okay. I'm just gonna... Well... Yeah.
Yours, now and always. close together. So if you need a hand with reading, she'll be right there saying.
I love being close together. Yay!
We're back,
Oh.
James's mum.
Sorry, voice connection issues. Have we got the right? Holy shit, we've
Are
got
we
the
really?
right. We've got it right. It worked. We're in our right places.
Nice.
Huzzah.
Great idea. Now we know how to deal with it next time it
I'm
happens.
exactly where I'm meant to be.
It's based on which computer you sign in with. It's because I was on my phone, it swapped it all around.
Ah, no, don't worry
Oh,
about it.
it was you. You the one who did it.
I was the one that made you the Pope.
I'm
thank
the
you.
Pope now. Great.
Aw.
So, you guys are in the Thunderdon Library, which happens to be a perfectly placed, and it wasn't just randomly thrown in at the last minute. It has been a planned part of town for the entire thing, I promise.
Is it a giant circle with like a dome on top of it, and it's used to be a Thunderdome?
No, it's like have you seen Empire Strikes Back, the giant boob nipple gun? No, I'm kidding.
The ion cannon. James.
We've all
I
seen
know
Family
exactly
Guy.
what you're
It's the giant boob nipple gun.
Yes.
Definitely not the ion cannon.
Anyway, you guys are in the library now. How are you going to do this copying business?
Well,
You're making
paper.
copy. Yeah,
I
there's
have a Mac. I
there's
can make copies real great.
so is what's that? Is that sleight of hand? Is that
You gave me performance last time. I've copied.
I'll give you performance then, because it is an element of artistry to it. Would anybody like to help yell?
I
Brüz will
could.
be over there helping Yell.
Yeah,
You're
kind of like
gonna-
identifying the key elements. So what did you say? Yell?
Oh, am I getting advantage then? Or
You're
is it
being
still-
helped by your
Yeah,
companions. Yeah. Aside from the ones that are doing extra research.
That'd be a
I'm
27.
gonna do the research. Yeah.
I was like, I was dancing
27.
because it was a 22. And then it went up to a 17, so that's a 27 on copying the maps.
Nice.
Now, actually, the nature of this keep that you're going to be traveling to, and the kind of precarious nature of the surrounding terrain means that a degree of detail is actually really, really important as you unfold this actually quite large map. Making every single line in its right place was actually more important than perhaps I gave it credit. But a 27 is enough to produce two wonderfully good quality copies that are pretty much as and per the original, really. But that will take you a while. It's the nature of the thing is that you have to be very meticulous. So there's enough time for other people to do some research while you're doing that work. Okay?
Yep.
So, I believe, Kyro, you're doing some research on hags, right?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the nature of the book I'm given.
Oh, yeah, the Ronzu does come with you. No, he doesn't come with you. He comes to the central table with a tome. And this is the first volume of the Fey Being Encyclopedia. Obviously first, because H for hag, that's, it's going to be in there. So you just turn to the letter H, and then you'll find your way fairly straightforward. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No.
All right.
Wait, do you have a book on Drow?
Your own kind. Just give me a few minutes. I'll see what I can find.
Huh.
He turns and
Okay.
he kind of goes to the other side of one of the two. So there's a table that you're all sat at, and there's a bookshelf on either side of the table, and then flanking around every wall of this four-walled space, with the odd space for like a window and a door, are bookshelves. He goes to the other side of one of the bookshelves that are immediately next to the table. Did anyone say they wanted to do any other research?
Eirys wants to research vampires.
Investigation.
Okay. Roll good, please. That was 1 off the 20. Investigation. 23.
23.
Yeah.
Well, just bear with me. I'm going to send you the stat block.
Yay.
Oh,
Alright.
features, Stat
I
block.
don't want to fight a vampire. They're like CR16.
It depends on the vampire.
Just bear with me. How am I going to do this? You've rolled really well on the investigation.
Do you want to do this?
I mean, we're not
indeed.
going to go and fight anyone yet, so you can always send it to me afterwards if that's easier.
He finds a
You just-
really,
you
really
find
interesting
good
children's book
information.
on
Should
vampires.
just be like, these
It's
are
got very,
powerful
very
people.
lovely illustrations.
Yeah.
D is for vampire.
The
Might be in this encyclopedia. I don't know.
But the Reader's Digest Vampire Encyclopedia.
It's one of Nuru's brother's erotica novels, but he did
How
all
did
the
that get-
research really well.
Best
So
of his
if
work.
you,
that
if you
actually
read
got published.
between the lines, you actually get a lot of good info.
There's a lot of fictional work in the library about vampires. A tome about Strahd von Zarovic, sorry, which is a famous fictional vampire. Apparently, like the insert of like the first couple of pages insists that it's based in truth, but the contents is just so outlandish. You read of beings that are undead that can change their shape at will into a bat or a cloud of mist, or back that can fly, that can regenerate any wounds within a few seconds of receiving them, being able to climb walls and being creatures of the night, being damaged by the sunlight and by radiant energies that one of the books that you read, details a warrior paladin hero who smote vampires down by the power
the
of
kill
the
method.
divine kind of energy. But yeah, very tenacious, very powerful, capable of summoning swarms of evil creatures, rats, bats, wolves, to fight for them. And of course, who could forget, you were aware of this before you started, but you read in more detail about how a vampire does feed off of the life force of its prey, sucking blood, but also life energy to not only survive, but to thrive. And it's where their powers come from, at the expense of the life force energy of their prey. But also capable of creating thralls and zombies to do their bidding and their will. Extraordinarily powerful. Legendary, almost.
There's two more things she wants to find out.
Yeah.
One, how do you kill a vampire?
Just bear with me.
That's okay. If it helps, I actually know it, so I can just go with what Jodie knows.
I know it too. I've read the module for
Read your brother's erotica.
Yeah, I've read my brother's erotica, which is about how Strahd and his advisor have like secret gay feelings.
Wow.
I'll read this section because you've read up enough. When it drops to 0 hit points, the vampire transforms into a cloud of mist instead of falling unconscious, provided that it is not in sunlight or in running water. If it is unable to transform, it is destroyed. While it has 0 hit points in mist form, it cannot revert to its vampire form and must reach its resting place within 2 hours or be destroyed. Once in its resting place, it reverts to its vampire form, but it is paralyzed. After 1 hour goes by, it regains 1 hit point, and then its regeneration abilities will restore. So, effectively, it must be destroyed while in direct sunlight or within running water. It can also be paralyzed by piercing its heart with a stake made of wood.
Okay. And the other thing was, how do people become vampires?
Vampires are turned into vampires by, I believe, being bitten by the vampire That's at least to become a thrall. So if you're bitten by a vampire and you fall to 0 hit points
If
and die,
I've looked into it before. If
Yeah.
it's the same, it was a bit homebrew. It's if you drink the blood of a vampire. If you get bitten by one, you become presumably a thrall.
a thrall.
I think if you drink the blood of a vampire, then you become a vampire. But
That's
whether
if you want to
Eirys-
be a vampire lord.
Sweet, that sounds even better.
Like,
Drank the
thralls
blood of
have
the-
to, like, thralls end up serving their lord, and then lords are, like, extra super rare, and is usually what we think of when we think of vampires.
Yeah, I suppose I'll have to think about that, which is ironic because I knew what kind of enemy this was, but I haven't done much planning. So everything I've said is true in
The
that
DM admits it.
if a bite slays the target and they die from the effect, they will fall to 0 hit points and rise hours later as the vampires spawn. That much I'd say on that investigation check, that is what you can figure out. In terms of how vampires came about in the first place, in terms of like how a vampire might create another vampire, you do not know, I'm going to say. Half because you'd need a 25 or higher, and half because, I don't know. Yeah, I'll figure that out. I will figure that out. I'll figure that out.
Ritual anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
Why do you keep asking me all these tricky questions, man?
I have an encyclopedia.
You have an encyclopedia of hagginess, and you learn that hags are, well, the monster manual's coming out, but not in the way that I originally envisaged. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. The alphabet. It's easy.
It's all in one order. And it's easy to remember because it's always in alphabetical order.
How small is this print?
There are... Oh, yeah, it's pretty small. It's a compendium of every fae. And detailed kind of writing, summarizing in some detail.
Are there cool pictures?
There's a sketch of a hag that looks a bit like that.
Ah, neat.
But it's yeah, you're able to make up the main headings because hag is like a big heading, and then there are subheadings. There are green hags, there are night hags, there are sea hags.
Arthrin. Come here.
Okay, gets up from the table and walks over. Actually, no, you're beside him. He's going to lean over to where you are. Oh.
I'm just gonna slide the book towards him.
Yeah, okay. I appreciate the thought. They were regular. I believe they were green hags. They weren't shadowy, and they certainly weren't watery. So I think they were green. I think. Yeah, maybe once this whole Trindigan thing's finished, maybe we could.
You can read it now. We have time.
I guess that's true. He looks over at where Yal's copying the... Takes a look. Yeah.
It's good to multitask.
Reports have... That's interesting. Apparently green hags have been known to disappear underwater for days at a time.
Huh.
And come back out and having not drowned. What else?
It's interesting.
I can turn into fish. They can't hide from me.
Cool. Apparently they can disappear at will. They can change their appearance. I mean, that's standard magic, isn't it? Like,
that's pretty tricky.
We should have passwords in case one of us might be a secret hag.
That's
okay. What's your password?
Nuru, can you turn down your volume some?
Sorry, I'm on the other side of the room.
I mean,
It's the library.
Ronzu kind of
Oh!
hobbles over.
She'll
Like,
pick up her book and go over towards you guys. Sorry, I forgot.
Inside voice, Nuru. Inside voice.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I see. You guys have got it. That's fine. Okay. He goes back. Cool. What else? Hags have been known to call to one another using the cries of animals native to their environment. I mean,
Yeah, I've heard
that's
of
new information, I guess. You know, so
I've
maybe.
heard of ninjas. I've heard of heckin' ninjas doing that. That's pretty smart.
Well, I think I can do that. I swear, I used to do this with. Yeah,
You
never
might
mind.
want to back your microphone away if you're going to whistle.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Anyway, cool. So that's he picks up a few bits and pieces from that section on the hags. He seems appreciative that you're thinking.
Oh
of him.
yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, if you ever think that I might be a hag, just ask me what the password is, and I'll say potato stew.
Potato stew.
Oh.
So that's the password.
Yeah. For me,
To make
I guess.
for Nuru.
Because when I was a little kid, my parents said that if an adult ever came up to me and was like, "Oh, we know your parents," I'd be like, "What's the password?" And it was always potato stew.
That is a very dwarvish password.
That's quite adorable.
Yeah, it's my favorite food. First thing my parents gave me when they found me on their doorstep.
That's pretty
That
sweet.
is a reasonably hearty food to give to a child as well. Especially an
Yeah.
omnivore.
Well, well, you know what they had a lot of in the village? Potatoes.
There you go. Grain's End. Makes sense.
Yeah, not very grainy, but like they had all sorts of vegetables and rye.
Potatoes are a root, aren't they?
Yeah, it's the only thing that grows in the winter, so you know.
Oh, do you think that's why it's called Grain's End? Because the root is at the end of the grain?
Huh? I don't know.
I suppose it's possible.
She's thinking about it really hard. Oh wait, I was supposed to be copying stuff down. Shit.
Potatoes like nightshade. That's not a grain. That's a flower.
No.
My call sign is this.
What does he do? Just puts up two fingers.
My thumb's here.
Holds up a gang sign.
That's his password? That's his stranger password?
Michael,
No, it's just my call sign, like if you're referring to me.
Michael signs like this.
I'm never doing that.
That's probably for the best.
And it was like, mine is like this.
Rawr.
And she just does like a round hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I insight check the interaction between Nuru and Arthrin?
Yeah, go for it.
What are you inciting?
Does the old man have that drow book?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah, bear with me. We'll do this and then I'll come back to that.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to know if that was happening.
Yeah, we're keeping it fairly fluid. Yes, Ella.
18.
18.
18.
Arthrin, you can tell, like, he's just enjoying the company of his friends in a way that isn't as pressurized as it was in Shrine. And actually, he's quite enjoying it.
However, Nuru has a crush on him. But, like, she's also just, like, not trying to be too weird about it, and she's just trying to be friends with him at the very least. Like, you know. Like, she's not gonna be weird about it.
You kind of just... I don't know if anyone's paying attention to Ella, but she'll kind of starting to kind of bop a bit on her chair, kind of excited, kind of bop, but really trying not to say anything or give it away.
Legs swinging under the chair.
Yeah, little
Yeah.
legs are just going like this.
Eirys, Ella is starting to make some weird convulsive movements and you don't understand it. She seems to have figured something out, maybe seen something.
Can I insight Ella?
Yeah.
That's a good
insight train.
It's
on
like
the
telephone.
Insight. 5th-degree insight. Almost as weird as
it-
figuring out that there's a creepy kind of crush
I'm
on
so
an
glad I
ex-pupil
already know what's
by
happening.
looking at a photo.
24.
Anyway, 24. Ella, how much are you giving away here? Let's think about this. You're bobbing up and down, fairly gleeful. Are you giving away the direction of your mirth, or?
Yeah, probably because she's probably like looking at them, but trying not to like just subtlety isn't her forte.
Ella
she's like-
makes eye contact with you, but by then it's too late. She's looking towards Arthrin and Nuru.
Okay.
The first map
good.
has been finished by Yell. Brüz kind of looks over it. It's phenomenally detailed. If anything, it might be a minor markup, but because of the age of the original, like having it fresh is actually like nicer, clearer. He starts work on the second one at the same time as Ronzu comes over. Well, I didn't have anything on the Drow specifically, but I did have an investigation into the nature of the Underdark. Yes.
Huh.
For this, I'm going to have to break character for a second and ask you for Kate's surname.
She doesn't have one.
That you know of, or?
I mean, no, she's
Well,
a slave.
I mean,
she would have had the name of our house, which
Yeah, I guess
was-
the
Let me
slaves
that
get
for
the
you.
name of the house that owns them.
Yeah,
right?
so her last name would be. Just get that real quick. Here, I'll paste it in chat for you.
Sure. So
There you go.
he kind of places the book down.
Or Thavier.
Yeah. It opens it up, and in common, you can just about pick out the words Life in the Underdark by Kate Freeman, formerly of Clan Othavia.
Hey, what? This is probably accurate.
Well,
Did you know that Kate wrote a book?
I'd hope that...
Well, she writes
all of-
sometimes. I don't know.
I'd
She didn't
hope-
tell me.
I'd have hoped that all of the tomes here would have some degree of relevance, and I'm glad to see that you approve.
I'm sorry, I've seen books that are not.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but this is the Thunderdon Library. I pride myself on a limited but high-quality collection.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway,
Where did you get this?
well, the author gave me a copy.
Wait, what?
Yes, Kate Freeman.
Cool.
Well, that's quite a smile. Anyway, I believe that she actually returned to the Underdark. I think she's spent so
That's
many
nice.
years there that she's comfortable.
She has a place there, yeah.
Maybe she does. I wouldn't know. Anyway,
Oh, I know her.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah.
are you? You're serious?
What?
How do you know? I just think it's remarkable, really.
We work together.
He's looking at you in surprise, but not disbelief. How interesting. When
Yeah.
you say work together, what does that mean? Were you in the I suppose, obviously, the Underdark is probably your home. What was her place there? Why was she there?
He looks at him a little bit suspiciously. I want to try to insight the
Yeah,
man.
go for it.
It's the usual. I got a 9.
9. You think it's
I don't know why this
conceivable?
man's asking me.
Yeah, you don't know why the guy's asking you, but you just as much as you see that he's obviously a collector of books, history, information, he might have that kind of interest in this connection between arguably his most current source of information on the Underdark and the first Drow he has seen in years coming into his library. But just as much, you get the sense that he could be interested in acquiring
Oh,
your
you know
story.
Kate. She gets around. She knows a lot of people.
Apparently she does.
Mm.
Well, may I just say, I don't know when the last time it was that you saw her, but quite a woman.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He's gonna try to go away now.
Yeah, sure, that'll finish that. Does anyone else have any other points of business, discussion, etc.?
I did want to talk to Ella at some point, but I'm making 2 maps, so...
We'll say that's time can go by and you can grab Ella, that's fine.
Well, Brüz has been helping with the maps, just making observations of little corrections and adjustments as you go to keep it sharp.
Yeah, and it's helping.
So we get it done quicker.
Okay, yeah. So the second map gets finished, laid out, the ink to dry. There's actually a fairly sized sort of candelabra that's hanging from the ceiling that's emitting a surprising amount of heat. So the ink dries pretty quickly. Yell and Ella. I ship it. Anyway, yeah. Over to you.
So, how was your little venture?
Yeah. Not that. Well, didn't really find anything. So, bumped into the guy that now lives in my room. Adrian?
Must have been awkward. Oh, he's the guy we gave the slip.
Yeah! He's doing well! He's been there a couple of months. He's just learning his cure wounds. He's doing good.
Ah, little baby cleric.
Yeah. We gave him a clap. Oh, he needed it.
You touched me inappropriately.
We trick him like
Point
we
on
did
the
Arthrin and steal some clerics from the temple. Just have an army of healers.
I feel that taking people against their will is not a good thing.
No, we wouldn't take them against their will. We'd do whatever Eirys did with Arthrin.
I'm pretty sure Eirys kidnapped Arthrin.
It's called a crusade.
Oh.
Guys.
In which case...
Acolytes have 9 hit points.
In which case we convince them, train them up a little, so, because, they're little baby clerics. We don't want them to die.
Buff them up.
Yeah, and then what we do is we get them all to the point where they can do that magic that you can do, where you bring people back from the dead. And we just have an army of clerics at the ready.
I mean, what kind of trouble are you thinking we're going to get into that we need an army of clerics?
Let's face it. Let's face it. You're great. You're amazing. But things may only get tougher as we get tougher. We tend to bite off more than we can chew.
Damn straight.
I mean, he could do with the training. We could ask him.
Let's not take him on this journey, though.
Plus, I've heard of people who can be revived without the need for diamonds. Maybe they could find out about that and teach us that.
Yes. Heck yes.
And then it doesn't matter if we die, because we just use a spell slot and boom, you're back up.
Boom. Just like that.
Exactly. I'm not sure how that happens, though.
Me neither.
Kira's excited.
Try and
I
find
think
out.
it's something to do with gods.
I'm sorry.
Don't really know.
Oh. Well, I suppose I could always ask mine. Haven't spoken to him for a while, actually. Should check in with him.
Probably should. I hear gods are finicky if you don't.
Get a little bit funny.
So-
Anyway, by the way, sorry, I had to explode here.
Okay.
Did you know? Did you know? There's
I
a
know.
thing.
There's
Yes.
a thing.
Nuru likes Arthrin. She's got a crush on him.
But Arthrin still lives in the town. Oh, love triangle.
Huh?
It's a love triangle. I love blind. Who's Arthrin kissed Eirys in the town.
Oh. Yeah, but he was drunk. So was that a kiss or was that a drunk kiss?
I mean, it's Arthrin. Remember that time we teased him about he was thinking about Eirys and doing dirty things? It turns out he was.
Oh! Sorry. Yes, I remember that.
He wasn't drunk that time either.
No, he wasn't. Oh, this is exciting. The triangle.
So you're a fan of gossip then?
Yes, every gnome is.
Gets it from
Good point.
Grammy, guys. Like, seriously. Grammys are minx.
I'm so excited to talk to Yappinator.
It now makes all the sense why you're all about the drama. When we have
Yeah.
drama.
Gotta love that drama.
Livens up the day every now and then.
I'm glad somebody's getting some enjoyment from this.
Once the maps were left to be dried, Brüz will have inquired of the of grandfather
Ronzu.
Ronzu if he has any books on alchemy for fun and mischief.
That seems fairly generic, but I have a suppository of local flora and fauna.
That's not the word for it.
He's sort of looking for some old school pyrotechnics. Things that he can make little smoke bombs and flashbangs and firecrackers. Just things that he can just sort of like sort of makes. He remembers being shown how to do it once, but he hasn't done it in so long he doesn't quite remember. But he'd love to find a book or two just to refresh his memory so he can start making them again, because he feels like firecrackers would be a great idea at the moment for some reason.
Bombs are excellent.
He brings you a repository of of various plant life. You don't get the sense that any of it's really relevant, like he isn't really understanding what you're asking him. You can make your own investigation roll if you'd like.
Yeah, he will do that. Knowing the local flora and fauna might be a point of just knowing things that he can find.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a nat 1.
Don't really get the sense that there's anything here for that, but you feel like, well, the might be individuals at the Arcanum Academy. It might be worth looking at Grandpop's enchanting shop. There seems...
I didn't realize they had this flower in this region. How curious.
So you get distracted by the local flora and fauna and just forget about what you were looking for.
He's completely forgotten now. He's now gone on the proverbial like wiki wormhole into the book, thinking about various flowers that he's seen wandering the wood.
Mate, we've all been there. 5 a.m. Suddenly, we're looking up freaking.
Yeah, suddenly daylight outside.
A history of Japanese kimono artwork. Like, anyway, so yeah, sorry. Did anybody else have anything? I feel like somebody did.
I take the book to Eirys.
Yes, you did. That was it. Thank you for the reminder. Go for it.
It's okay. Somebody else though, if they have something. Sorry.
Freaking take the floor.
Okay. I have this book and I go to Eirys with it. And is she currently reading?
Looking through a book about vampires.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
A book about vampires.
Oh, cool. Find anything interesting?
Quite a bit. Not quite done yet, though.
I found this. Shows her a book. It's about the Underdark.
Oh, right. Is it accurate?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. My friend wrote it. The one I mentioned earlier. Kate.
Oh, I didn't know she wrote books.
I didn't either. Doesn't surprise me though.
Wow. So, how did it get here?
Apparently she knows that guy. Points at, in the direction of the granddad.
Is she on the surface now, or?
No, definitely not.
Someone went in and got the book from the Underdark.
No, she's been to the surface before.
Okay, right. Wow. Did you want to borrow it? And I don't know.
Yeah, I figured it'd be helpful. It'd probably be better than me trying to explain everything without any context of anything.
So, is it literally a book on Underdark culture? Drow
he opens
society?
He opens it.
The content seems to be predominantly from the perspective of one that lives in Drow society, although there are elements of all manner of the different kind of creatures that live down there. The kind of first section is almost a little bit autobiographical.
He's gonna scan the outline, and he's gonna like notice a part, and he's gonna like flip through the book to a part, and he's like, nice. This is a place we used to go. He shows her. It's a large cavern with I think it's a pencil sketch probably, right? Or is it in color?
I'd say if there was an illustration, and let's say that there is, it would be a rough pencil sketch.
Okay. There are
Let's
large
take it with
mushrooms
us.
and things. Oh yeah, if we can.
There's almost certainly a chapter about flumps.
Is anyone looking that I can see?
Your companions, Ronzu has brought over a tray with a kettle.
Green tea, anybody? I just figured since you're all here and you've been here for a while, you might want some refreshment. Yes.
Ronzu,
Oh,
thank you.
thanks.
That would be lovely.
Pours 3 cups. Arthrin puts his hand up, pours a 4th cup.
Gonna have to get some more cups.
That's not often I have this many guests.
So everyone seems distracted.
He turns away and goes back to grab some more cups.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to put myself between Kyro and the rest of the group, so my back's to them, and I'm going to hold my hands for the books, and I'm going to try and put it in the bag holding without anyone seeing.
Oh, okay.
Make a sleight of hand check against everybody
Well,
else's
my
passive
passive
perception.
skills.
Can you just remind me what your
I'm
passive
going to
perception is,
use luck.
everybody?
I'm gonna help her because she's
Oh,
doing
thank
that.
Okay, yeah. Advantage then.
Oh, sweet. I was going to use luck, but I'll just take those 2 rolls.
14 for
14.
passive.
12.
Okay, 14.
And it's my second highest skill, or my joint highest skill. So 28.
28. No way anyone's going to see it. As as you're stepping to one side, the book's there, and you just go, and it's almost in tandem with the movement of you stepping to one side of Kyro and turning around to look over at one of the maps. Let's say Brüz is there, kind of like touching one of them up, he'd make eye contact. It looks like a perfectly natural motion.
Perfect. I give Kyro a wink.
Cool.
That's so cute.
Sorry, Yell and Ella. I feel like you were interrupted, and I apologize for that. You guys want to carry on?
Fine.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Oh, also, the Cherral Novaste guy, absolute dick. But
Right.
yeah, absolute dick. But it's easy to fold as a piece of paper.
Nice.
Like, did not take much at all.
Didn't think so. Not with your skills.
Thank you. Should also probably mention about what happened, because we should fill you in.
Mm.
On the way, so we're a bit more private. Mom was also there. We
he may have kind of said that we were part of the syndicate because he had heard of them, and he was shit scared of them.
Right.
So he used that. Your mom didn't seem too happy about that. We managed to convince her that you weren't part of it. I think she knows we're not, but we're not 100%.
Okay.
But your mom did give us the map.
So she had the map.
Yeah, but she wasn't telling old Dickface that she had it. If anything, she was saying he didn't have it before we got into the room. Quite funny. He was quite powerless when she was like, "Oh yeah, I do have the map."
Did she? Was she trying to? Did you get the sense she was covering for him or anything, or working with him, or?
No, quite the opposite. She was telling him she didn't have the map. And then when we came in, did the whole syndicate bit, she was like, "Yes, I do have the map." And, yeah. The death glare he tried to give her. Because he's a dick face. So he felt like a piece of paper. So that's why we're also getting paid.
Yeah, where's this money coming from?
What did he say? He said...
The temple coffers. Brüz chirps in from a short distance away, putting his head up for a moment and then going, "Oh, that's like a buttercup."
Yeah, now, like, still debating whether or not he was going to try and deceive Alara and say it was coming from him or not.
Oh!
Yeah. The temple coffers. Yeah, real dickbag if he's willing to give away the temple's money.
Yeah.
Ella,
Mhm.
you know the High Priest is a wealthy man.
Well,
We could rob him.
I think you could get some other type of money. Not that one. He's the High Priest, and he is wealthy. I know that for sure.
Oh, so he really is a dickbag. Ah.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely need to get Eirys in at some point and just really work in that intimidation. Eirys maybe a hero as well. He can stand there being intimidating and stuff. Really give him the full work over. That could be real fun.
I think we might need to visit Mother.
I was going to send her a message just to let her know that you're definitely not the syndicate. Neither are we, and if she ever felt endangered, to go stay with Eirys' friend, Kylan.
Thank you, yeah. That's be a good idea. Do you think she's safe there?
Well, if we tell her to make sure we sent, I don't know what to do. But yeah, I'll send that message when we're wrapped up with this, but are you doing alright? Having to go back to the temple so often, dealing with all of this.
It's getting harder. And I mean, knowing what you've just told me, I don't know what to think of Mum now. Oh.
Yell just gives Stella a big hug.
Oh, she hugs him back.
Big hug at the table of the library.
We'll work it out.
We'll get there. I just don't want this conversation with the Mother, but it needs to happen.
Alright, well, we'll be there. We're a step of the way.
Cool. Yeah.
What sort of a name is Agapanthus?
What book is he reading over there?
This is
I have no clue.
This is the best game of Dungeons and Dragons I've ever been a part of.
I love it.
And as Eirys admitted while in the zone of truth, that I think we all agree. We'd all die for you, Ella. We're there every step of the way.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna do everything in my power to not have to die for you, but
I
That's
just hope
fair.
I don't die.
I think to myself, wherever I am.
Kill for her by preference, die by necessity.
She's very. You can see she's very moved by that, and you can see that her eyes kind of glazed over a bit with getting a bit teary eyed.
Yell just gives her another hug.
She hugs back.
You got this.
Cool.
We got this.
Are there any other orders of business as you guys finish up with the maps and the research at the library?
Is there anything about Tabaxi, I guess?
Make
Just real quick.
Yeah, make an investigation check. Ronzu's busy with the teeth.
My investigation's always pretty low, but she will check. It's 12.
12. Enough for you to pick up that, much like the Dragonborn, the Tabaxi are few and far between, and they tend to be roamers. They tend to walk. They roam in caravans, and it's right what you said earlier on. The general reputation of being untrustworthy, because they tend to camp out at the edges of towns and things go missing, and they're attributed with blame, which may or may not be true. It may not be.
Bit of column A, bit of column B.
Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, it's a vicious cycle. They become thieves because everyone thinks that they're thieves, and that's the only jobs they can get.
It may well be. Yeah.
Anyway, but she kind of. This is how her research has gone, so she's not that surprised and just moves on.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have some. I'm gonna look at the tea. Is it poisoned?
I mean, it's hot in the cup. It's steaming. There appears to be a small sort of gauze bag containing a variety of green herbs of some description. You sniff at it. Smells kind of earthy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna drink the tea. It's fine.
It's hot. It's something that you sip and it goes down, and there is like a kind of lush aftertaste to it, but a kind of earthy sort of consistency taste to it. It tastes like flavored dirt. And yeah, as it cools, you enjoy it. Ronzu kind of comes up with a few more cups. Kind of, you're enjoying it? Would you like some more?
I'm good. Thank you, though.
You got any sugar?
I may have some. Don't traditionally have sugar in herbal tea, but I'll see what I can find. All right.
I don't know. All the tea I had back home was like really
gonna
sweet.
look out the room and just get the vibe.
Vibe is the business is finished unless anyone else. I'm not getting a sense that anybody has anything else to do here.
Yell just wanted to send a message to.
Okay.
yeah.
Yell, then
fine.
Brüz. Yeah. So Yell, go for it.
It's just going to be ascending to Orla.
Orla
and it's just,
Icklebury. Yeah.
It's just going to be, hey, sorry about earlier. Just so you're aware, we're not Syndicate, and Eller is in good hands. If you need somewhere safe from dickbags, we have a friend called Kylan at the guard post. Tell him we sent you. I think that's about 25.
No, that's fine. You get the reply. I was considering whether or not to message your friend. Thank you. It isn't what I had originally envisaged, but it is progress. You have my... That was 25 words.
Meh.
Quick question. We're trying to wrap up the session. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, we'll do the last little few pieces of
I'm just
business here
wondering.
and there, and then we'll finish
Okay.
the session, I think.
I have no more
'Cause
sending.
I
I really
had-
have to speak to Ella.
I think the only thing I would ask, probably until we change scenes, is that when I asked the grandfather guy like where one might receive a letter, if one were to be sent a letter.
Oh yeah.
Letter. Most of those come through the guardhouse, I'd imagine. I can give you the materials to write one, should you be interested.
Yes.
Well, who would you like to make it to? Here you go. Gives you the materials, the parchment, the ink. I don't want to pry
Thank
on your
you.
business, in fact. I'll leave you to it. All right.
What a polite old man. Okay. I now have those.
Go
That's
get
all I
the
wanted to
letter. Go get the letter.
I'm staying with the group.
Okay, but please.
Anyway, so anything else? Bruce, you said you wanted to do something?
Just as a little thing as happening after Yell and Ella finish their conversation, just before we sort of all get up.
Mhm.
Brüz was sort of like going through the various pages of this book of flora and fauna, and has been lost in thought of flowers that he's seen in various parts of the wood, and was reminded of a purple one that he's been trying to flick through and locate on his mind, because it had been one that he had thought of to tell Ella about, as it was a particularly pretty flower, and has now found it in this book.
Yep.
And I put a photo up in our little chat to
Yeah, I can
to
see
say
it.
that
how
he just
cute.
said, like, oh, Ella, look at this. I've seen this flower in some strange plain open territories that I've traveled.
Mm-hmm.
Very strange pods that open like frogs' mouths, and beautiful purple flowers.
Oh, wow.
I could never remember what it was called, but jacaranda. Who names these things?
Don't know. Do not know. But
It's a
that's
frog
really
seed
pretty.
tree, for goodness sake, isn't it? Purple frog seed tree? Is that so hard? Jacaranda.
I mean, it's a different kind of name. It's not stating the obvious, I suppose.
I suppose, yes.
We should, if we find one, we should pick one up.
They are very delicate flowers.
Are they? Oh, okay.
Yes,
Mm.
they do leave a lovely covering on the ground when they fall.
Oh, we should definitely find some there. We should go find some.
Bruce, can you make a general wisdom check, please?
Sure. With the dice that gave me a 1 before, it gave me a 3 this time, so I think I get like maybe a +3 to my wisdom. I think it's +3 or +4. +4. So that's 7. I'm feeling 7 wise.
Okay. Carry on.
Yeah, and Brüz then sort of like starts rambling off as to some of the other flowers that he's found in this book that have stupid names.
Oh, okay.
You should look up
Okay.
naked hanging men. It's a flower.
Goodness, is it really?
Yep, looks like little men with their dicks out. It's funny.
Ronzu is in the middle of taking a sip of tea, goes...
This is, by the way, this is a real flower.
Brüz was hurriedly sort of flicking pages until Nuru described it, and he's flicking sort of slowed down.
Oh my god.
That's awful.
My
wait,
mom
no,
used to
sorry,
grow
sorry,
them
sorry.
sometimes as a joke.
I'll do that after the session because I'm interrupting the stream if I try. You should copy and put that in the server. You should definitely put those images in the server. That's so good.
Oh yeah, there they are. Have a look at that. That is just astonishing, and exactly what you would think it would be.
Thank you, nature. We need
Amen. Anything else?
I'm done at the library, that's for sure. I have other things to do, though.
Get your letter.
That's one of the things.
Okay, so we can go and grab the letter and then end up the session. I'm kind of curious.
Huh, okay. That'd be fun.
You want to tell the party that you're going to go over there?
I'm just waiting for everyone to leave.
Yeah.
I'm not in a rush.
You guys...
We're having a nice time reading, copying maps. It's pleasant right now.
You can choose to spend the rest of the afternoon here. Ronzu's happy for the company.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You do so. An enjoyable, relaxing time is had, and a time of really feeling like you're making progress. That the purpose of your visit to Faranath is becoming clear.
I'm going to leave a book in the library.
Oh, one of the ones that you picked up?
Yep.
Which one?
The dragon one.
Are you, like, doing a secret trade?
Yeah.
You get out the book and kind of wander across to one of the shelves. Ronzu kind of waddles up, goes, "Well, I didn't see you take this book out."
I'm just gonna leave it. I don't make, but that's fine.
As were you just going to put it on the table?
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it somewhere, like on the floor.
On the floor. Okay.
Sure.
As you place it on the floor. Yeah. As you place it on the floor, Ronzu will pay attention to it. He won't necessarily act on it, but he's going to find it. He's going to find it very, very interesting. Anything else before you guys leave? It's now the early evening as you've spent the afternoon in the library.
Wow.
Can't think of anything.
Okay. You guys head on out?
Actually, no.
Oh, okay. You guys head out.
I'm just going to assume we've seen the maps.
Yeah, the maps have been made. I'd say that there would have been enough time to make a third copy, so you've got 3 high-quality copies of the map and the original.
I'd like to have
maps
helped
for
out
days.
That last one. I can do forging.
Yeah, sure. You give Yell a hand. It's actually a really pleasant afternoon. Anyway, once you guys are finished with all of those orders of business, you head back out. The evening is yours. Remember, the hostel Kaunia is still there. 7 silver pieces per night. Any other?
Mind if we stop by the guardhouse? Just at everyone.
Oh, yeah, sure. We don't really have any other plans for today, do we?
What for?
My brother's supposed to be sending me a letter. I mean, it's probably not there, but might as well check.
Okay.
I could do with catching up with Kyron. Kylan.
Getting all the K NPCs mixed up.
It happens the other way around too, it turns out.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Except
I have
mine's-
things to tell you later, Arthrin.
You start wandering towards the other side of town. So on the east side of town is where the guardhouse is, and obviously the library was on the northwest. So you traverse back through the main town square.
Well, yeah.
And as you do, you kind of look up the road that to the left-hand side of where you're passing, where there's a bit of a commotion, because there's a couple of colourful individuals approaching from the direction of the temple. And as you guys look, one of them is a Drow. It's Jojorawr, and then get out of my way, youngin! Hey, you've got saying my friends. Zendron Coldsteel and Jojorawr are making their way across the town square, make eye contact with you. Zendron goes, "Holy shit! It's the fuckers!" And
I'm just gonna run towards my brother.
Yeah, you do so, and that's where we'll end our session.
What was the point of writing a letter if he was just gonna show up in person?
Now he gets to read the letter to him.
You can just tell me then, straight up everything.
Oh yeah, true.
That's fun.
I'm happy to accommodate
Nice.
a bit of interplay by which Cherral is like.
Yeah.
You can play Jojorawr for
Okay.
a bit if you want, TQ. So.
Yeah, I mean,
Just for our
I'm not
opinion.
gonna. It's just for our peace.
He's not gonna
purposes.
stay
Yeah.
here. You're still grounded. Why'd you leave the temple? That's what I'm going to say.
Go to your temple.
For a little while. Dad's
Zendron.
watching the kids, and
Zendron knows teleportation circle and has access to the teleportation circle in Fire and Laugh.
Oh damn!
Damn.
Convenient for me.
Yeah,
He does.
I made that link when we were playing our other game. I was like, oh well, that letter is it's getting delivered by hand.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, it's getting delivered by hand. Cool.
can I share with the group the letter I wrote though?
Please do.
Okay. So he did write this entire thing, and then
Then he asked Zendron,
and then
"How
was
do I
like,
know
"Hey,
this?"
how do I deliver this?"
Instead of like,
I know how to do that. Come with me. Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh well, this was pointless. Well, whatever.
Amazing.
you can still give me the letter. I can
Yeah, I'll
keep it.
still give you the letter." But...
Yeah, I can keep it.
It's important keepsake. Anyway.
And also it comes with artwork.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So, I don't know if you'd be up for sharing it on the server or not.
Oh yeah, sure.
So if you join our Discord server, you can see the letter that Kiro's brother wrote to him.
Should we post our conversations on there?
Yeah, totally. Is there like a sub-server on there? Like, for like RP and stuff? I'm sure there should be. Anyway.
Yeah, there's an RP
One could be
that are
made.
unmuted.
So if you,
You're
like,
unmuted. Yeah.
sometimes we do like write-ups of out of session kind of character interactions, and
I should post those.
you should post those. That would be so cool. Cool. Well done. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hope that was
Where do I post that?
Randolph.
In the
Put an
Discord
art.
server.
In the Discord server. Maybe in the
Which
RP section.
channel? Okay.
Like just the RP, I guess that makes sense. So yeah, join our Discord server for access to all of that extra content from the campaign. We are running a version of the Hunger Games featuring such great names as Kylan, Stanley the Dire Goose, who's been obviously
Old man
snacking.
A
Jim,
beast.
Old man
first
Jim.
round
Yeah.
winner.
Where is Stanley? Surely he's in this library with us.
Stanley
Yes.
would have been out in the library, kind of nibbling at, drinking some tea. Yeah, having some snacks.
He would have been picking at snails in some of the damp corners.
You guys need to remind me to feature Stanley more. I know that I keep forgetting. Anyway,
We miss our Stanley.
well done for watching. I think I'm feeling like it was a fairly positive evening, all things
A
considered.
lot of fun.
Thank you.
I don't
Well
want to
done.
fight a vampire. I'm not ready.
But you will.
Oh,
Please no.
we're not strong enough for a vampire.
I bet we are.
No, we're not.
I bet we are.
Son,
Okay.
I've
been
been
running
running
Dungeons
Dungeons and Dragons
Say so.
games for at least 2 weeks. I think I know what I'm doing.
Can we just
2 weeks.
Possibly
blow up the
more.
castle from the sky?
Anyway,
I'd rather go do Arthrin.
we will stop the stream now, but well done. God bless you. Hope that you are well and safe and happy. And see you next time for more
Farewell.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
Bye bye.
It
Bye
is
bye.
evening, and I have so much to do already. Goodbye.
I'm stressed out and grumpy. And I have trust issues. I have depression and PTSD. I like books. I don't know how I got here. Hello, James Mom. Here and now. Time for adventure. I just hope I don't die.